Hey, good morning and welcome to YouGarden TV. I'm with the wonderful Adam Woolcott, and we've not worked together for quite a while, actually.
I'm with the wonderful Shaun.
Oh, thank you very much.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Stu's head of our technical said I haven't worked in a while. That is not true. So I'm just sorting out my t-shirt. Has it shrunk? I just got bigger.
Well, that's what I always say as well. I think put it on the hot wash again, need to turn the dial down.
Yeah, anyway, if you don't know Adam, we just chatted about Chelsea. Actually, I was at the Chelsea Flower Show last week, and Adam and his partner John have won 4 gold medals at Chelsea. And I mean, I always say that, award-winning Adam, but actually, when you put it into perspective, when I saw the amount of work that had gone into those gardens, it's pretty incredible. It's very impressive.
It is a lot of work.
I bet.
Because every year people say, "You're doing Chelsea this year." It's like, no, can't do it every year. I'd be like, I'd age about 25 years in like 2 years if I tried to do it every year.
But your knowledge, Adam, and you've been a gardener all your life, and you are actually a hands-on gardener.
Yeah.
So Adam looks after some very special clients' gardens. So to have Adam on the show today is amazing, because there's no better person really to tell you all about these incredible plants that we've got. And we have got some great offers available. Lots of new things. We've got back in stock with our passion flower as well, which we'll show you in a moment. So, but just very quickly, for those of you that are new to the show, free postage on all orders over £40. That is brilliant, because you could put together a really big order and get it all delivered free just by spending over £40 today. If you don't spend £40, it's $6.99 per order. And we have got a free gift, these gorgeous skyscraper lily bulbs called Lily Robina, and these will grow really tall. First year maybe 4 foot.
Yeah, eventually 6 foot.
That's
6,
taller
7
than
foot.
us, just.
Yeah, 20, 30 flowers per plant. These are going to be statement plants, easily.
And a lovely colour as well.
And fragrant.
Oh, I forgot to mention that,
Yeah, fragrance.
But to get your free gift, and actually to get all of the promotions on today's show, because we've got loads of promotions, you just need to use the offer code, which is YGTV2224. That's all you need to do, and all of those promotions will be available to you. But we are going to start the show with a back in stock, and literally we've only just got the stock back today. Couldn't show this yesterday, weren't sure if we'd have it. She's absolutely gorgeous. It's a stunning passiflora. My mum's got this exact variety. She's had it about 15 years.
It's tough.
It is, because sometimes you think, are they going to survive the winter?
Sometimes, I've found in really cold winters, they do get knocked down quite a bit to ground level, but they always come back, they always regenerate, and they grow a lot in one season,
Yeah.
don't they?
I mean, we transferred my mum's from a pot into a brand new border, and literally within 2 years, it covered, I would say, 2 fence panels, maybe a bit more, in 2 years.
And also what I find with them as well is they send up extra shoots from the base. So once they get established, you get, sometimes just a little way away from the main plant, they send up more stems. Just look at that.
But I was going to, the flower, Adam, it's just magical, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's turn it side, because it looks brilliant side on. Do you know what, Shaun? I just can't believe this plant is real.
I agree.
That flower is just so ridiculously extraordinary. Just look at the colours on it. Those sort of concentric circles there of different patterns and colours and shapes, and then this
just incredible.
The middle part there as well. These are,
I know,
they're just phenomenal.
And I know what you're saying, and all of these buds look about to come out as well. Now, there are 2 prices on the screen. This is only £9.99. If you are a club member, it's only £8.99. That is it. And literally, this will cover a fence panel, 2 fence panels within a few years. And in terms of position, I'm just thinking sun.
Yeah, sunny. Yeah, that's where it'll be really, really happy, in a nice sunny shelter position. That's the best place to give it. And also, what it will do later in the season, if it's really happy, it produces these little orange egg-type shaped fruits as well.
Yeah,
which again,
really attractive.
Really unusual, really different. Some of the fruits in the passion flower family are edible. Our ones aren't. I mean, might be edible to an animal, but wouldn't be palatable to us. But yeah, the birds would love them, or the wildlife, but they're just an extra sort of attraction. I've seen at the end of really hot summers, they can be festooned with these orange fruits that are just an added attraction. But they just keep flowering and flowering and flowering, these passion flowers.
Which is what I love. I mean, I love my clematis, but a lot of my varieties, you get flowers for a month or two, but then that's it.
Yeah.
Was this flowers continuously all
they
summer
just
long.
keep going, keep going, keep going. I mean, look at that flower.
Amazing.
It's just absolutely extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, it's insane the way that flower has kind of evolved or been created, or however you kind of want to look at it. You know, it's just phenomenal to see that flower shape, the colours, the design of it. I don't really know any other flower that is so extraordinary.
I totally agree. And you would never, when you look at how exotic this is, you'd never really imagine that it can be grown so successfully in the UK. Now, if you missed out on this, it did sell out. It is back in stock today, but it will go quickly. And at that price, $9.99, $8.99, we've been told we can't spend too long on it because we don't want to sell it too quickly.
But we love it.
We do love it as well. I'd say my mum had one in a pot for many, many years, and then we finally put it in, and it grew to a reasonable size. But once we put it in the border, it just covered the fence, and it has survived about 15 winters. In terms of hardiness, what do we say, Adam?
Well, you know what? I've seen these get through almost every winter over the years, and like I said earlier on, I have seen in really cold winters these might get killed all the way down to ground level or just above ground level, but I've seen them after a while regenerate.
Yeah.
You know, they come back from the root system. You know, very, very seldom does the root of these get destroyed. So. You know, I mean, apart from the Highlands of Scotland or somewhere like that, most places in the UK, if you can grow this somewhere sunny, sheltered, and well drained.
Yeah, I was going to say you don't want it to have really
not
wet
heavy,
roots.
wet, heavy, cold soil. So sunny, sheltered, well drained. A raised bed is always good for something like this. Probably 19 winters out of 20, you know, this will come through. This will come through.
I say my mum lived in York for many years, and it did get quite cold sometimes, but it survived. It really did.
And it self-supports as well, because it's got these little tendrils, these little coils, these little cold tendrils that actually kind of when they get hold of something, they kind of grip onto it, and then because they're coiled, what this will do in nature, because these are coiled, it kind of pulls the plant onto the structure it's got onto, because it's like a spring-loaded sort of tendril on there, which is amazing.
In terms of pruning as well, really easy to prune. My mum's did get a little bit straggly in areas, and I just chopped it right back.
Any time you want, it gets a bit untidy, just clip it back. Leave it through the winter, because the best thing to do is, after the winter, don't be too keen to cut it back too quick. Then wait to see where it's coming back from, because in a mild winter, it'll pretty much come back from where it left off. In the colder winter, you might find some of the smaller stems have been frosted back, but it regrows from the thicker stems further down. So I will just say, at least give it till about the middle of April, and then if you see there's any dead growth or damaged growth, just cut that off down to where the new growth is coming, and it will zoom away and just flower its socks off and keep flowering away for you right the way up until autumn.
Now, as Adam mentioned, this will very happily climb and support itself and cling on, but we have got the perfect home for this, and these are our tower plants. Now, they have been selling really, really quickly this week. We have got them on offer. It's one for £24.99, or two if you double up for £39.99. And actually, that passion flower would very happily live in here for a number of years.
It would. And what I would do with the passion flower, I wouldn't encourage it to grow straight up. No, I would go round.
I was just going to say you would, wouldn't you?
Round and round and round and round and round. Because that way, I mean, if you go round and round and round, you can get like a really, really lot of passion flower into a small space.
I think it'd look amazing.
It would look fantastic in there. And remember as well, it doesn't arrive to you like this. It comes in 3 sections.
It comes like this, Adam.
Yeah.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
There you go, just like Blue Peter. It's like all prepared.
Yeah, but that's how it arrives.
Yeah. So the good thing about that is, so for instance, Shaun, you could, sort of get the passion flower planted just put the first section on and start training around the first section. And you could go around the first section 2 or 3 times, and then once you've kind of exhausted that section, you can click the next one on, go around again, and so on, so you get all 3 sections in place.
Do you imagine when this is covered with those exotic flowers?
Oh, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's going to look incredible.
And also, when you train plants horizontally or laterally, it actually forces them to flower more. It restricts the sap flow. And that stresses the plant, and because the plant's stressed, it thinks it's under attack, so it forces it to flower more, because ultimately what every plant wants to do is just reproduce and create seed. So if you stress a plant sometimes, it will force it to flower.
Yeah. I actually, one of my citrus trees in my conservatory, I'd kind of neglected that a bit, not watered it, it lost a few leaves, and you're right, then it suddenly burst into flower. It was like, oh, you know, I'm not being looked after.
A really weird thing with fruit trees in the olden days, where kind of before, sort of late winter, they would actually attack the trunks of the trees with bits of wood and stuff like that, and actually really hammer the trunk and the bark and sort of damage it a little bit. And that would stress the tree out. The tree would think it was under attack, and so it would flower a lot more than ordinarily. So yeah, there's tricks you can do with nature or plants.
So if you like the tower pots, I feel sorry for those plants. $24.99, 2 for $39.98, selling really well actually this week. And then don't forget, back in stock today, we have got the gorgeous passion flower, but again, it did completely sell out. It is back today, and it's only £9.99, or £8.99 if you're a club member. If you're not a club member, you can join today for as little as £5 a year. Now, we've also got, we're going to stay exotic for a while, and we have got our beautiful oleanders next. The offer here, it's a buy one, get one absolutely free. It's amazing, actually, and the quality. I mean, Adam and I have worked together for many, many years, and the quality of these oleanders is second to none. Actually, they've been bred for us in Sicily by one of the, well, we believe the top breeder in the world. And I have to say, just looking at it, just the shape of these, all of those stems, they're so uniform and so full, aren't they?
They almost look like one of those artificial plants you buy. You know, when you buy an artificial plant, and they're always that. Yeah. They're just absolutely precise, aren't they? But these aren't artificial. These are truly, truly real. And as you say, Shaun, these are grown from cuttings, and sometimes you can find up to 8 or 9 stems in one pot. So these are already multi-branched. They've got glistening, glorious, verdant, shiny leaves from tip to top. They've got a fabulous root system, and we'll be pulling plants out the pot because we love to do that, show you the root system. You've got flowers, you've got buds, you've got tiny, tiny buds. So potentially you've got months and months worth of flower there. And I love that colour. I like that deep, deep red colour. We've had some fabulous colours lately. We had a lovely yellow one on recently. There's the classic
pink. We've had the white and the white. As well.
Yeah,
but it's the red this week.
Yeah, that's really glorious.
We should say they are a Mediterranean plant. They are hardy in the UK. We say to -5, but I know that they can survive harsher conditions that once established.
Yeah, once they get bigger. And again, like the passion flower, if they're sort of quite a bigger shrub, a more woody shrub, in a cold winter they might not get knocked down a bit, but then you just trim them back to where the new growth comes and they'll regrow from that point. So yeah, and I'm finding again in recent years, you've probably seen as well, Shaun, as you drive around, I'm seeing these more and more in people's gardens, bigger, bigger shrubs.
Absolutely.
And I'm thinking, wow, you know, in the UK now we are starting to see some gardens with some sizable oleanders, and obviously they've been there quite some time to get that big.
And in hotter countries they can grow several metres high, but yeah, even in the UK I've seen these 2 metres plus. Just don't eat any part of the oleander, so do bear that in mind. Humans, pets, do not eat any part of your oleander. But I was out yesterday, it was nice and sunny yesterday, I know, and I went outside on the nursery just to check these out, so have a look at this. Well, these are the fantastic oleanders right now, and it's still, don't forget, a buy one and get one absolutely free. Now, we had the pink ones earlier on in the season and the white, we're now onto the red. And when you see these, they're quite magnificent, aren't they? So oleanders, they grow in the Mediterranean. You'll see them growing freely in Spain and Italy. I've seen them in America as well. But the great news is they'll actually grow really well in the UK. They're hardy to -5. They are all evergreen as well. And, I mean, in their native environment, they can grow several metres high. Really, in the UK, you're probably talking about up to 2 metres. There is a little bit of a fragrance as well. But for me, it's the repeat flowering, because every one of the stems will flower all summer long. And all you need to do, when each head goes over, just take it off, and then you get more shoots and more flowers. They can actually, I've seen them flower even into the end of October as well. Now, very important, do not eat any part of the oleander. That applies to humans and pets. Enjoy their beauty and just have that real sense of the Mediterranean in your garden in the UK. And if you are looking at these thinking, wow, the quality is magnificent, it truly is. These are actually grown for us by an expert breeder in Sicily. It's a family business. They've been growing oleanders for years, and we believe they are the best breeder in the world. And that's why the consistent standard is amazing and so impressive. The plants are strong. They've got multiple stems. They're all in flower right now. And imagine 2 of these, a buy one, get one free, in your garden. It's going to make it instantly look magnificent and a little bit like you're in the Mediterranean. They're amazing, absolutely amazing. Hundreds and hundreds of those, and you saw the quality. Incredible.
Yeah, the quality is phenomenal on those. And can we just quickly pull one out of a pot, Shaun?
Yeah.
Because
I love checking out the roots.
Because I know these are going to have a
Look at that. I mean, look at that.
Look at that. Fabulous root system. See, these aren't cuttings that were just stuck in this pot just a few weeks ago and then shipped over to us. These have been properly established, really, really good plants. How many times do you pull a plant out of a pot sometimes? All the compost falls away.
And you realise it's just recently been potted
Exactly.
up.
And you've paid full dollar for it, and it's not even an established plant. You know, these are top dollar established plants.
I would grab them while you can, because you are getting 2. It's a buy one, get one free for $29.99, and I've been selling really well this week. $26.99 for club members, working out $13.50 each. And it's actually really hard to get hold of oleanders in the UK. A lot of other companies just aren't able to do what we can do, basically.
Yeah, so I think in recent years with there was problems after Brexit, and then there was there's been problems with a disease called Xiella and things like that. So, but all those. As far as oleanders are concerned, we've managed to iron out those issues and now sort of bring them back to you in the UK. Right,
we're going to go from exotics, we had a couple of exotics there, to beautiful traditional hanging baskets. And these are stunning. And I've spent the last few weeks in between working, making up hanging baskets, and about 30. But I can honestly say mine are not anywhere near as good as these. They're not. I mean, mine are nice, and they will get there. But just the colour scheme on this and the finish, these are immaculate, Adam, aren't they?
They are. These
are
incredible.
In
fact, we should have just taken that strap off, really, shouldn't we? That little strap there, but we can't see that. But I mean, the basket itself is fabulous. I mean, look at that wicker kind of effect on there as well. That is so rustic and natural looking. That would just look great anywhere. It would. Sometimes you can buy a hanging basket and they might be, and I'm not knocking them. Sometimes you can have those sort of plastic hanging baskets and they can be that green or that brown colour.
And to be fair, we do those. They can look really good. They really can.
But you want the basket to disappear, don't you? With this, you're not offended by the basket. You're happy to see the basket even now.
But I mean, look at the amount of plants in there.
Yeah, and we're only at the end of May.
I know. And so imagine how big this is going to get.
By the end of June, that's going to be mind blowing.
So I've cheated. No, I've not cheated. I'm not going to say that. But I've ordered 4 because I look after our pub garden in the village, and I have ordered 4 because at this price I thought. I don't know what my baskets have cost to make up, but the compost, the plants, the basket itself.
Your time?
Yeah. And to get a pair of these, I'm a club member, so it worked out $13.50 a basket.
That's insane.
It really is. Yeah. And I love the plants we've got in here, Adam, not just in terms of the colour, but the varieties as well.
Yeah, because we've got the lovely verbena there, that lovely sort of verbena that's
it's like tricoloured, isn't it?
It is. It's tricoloured there. We've got the petunias, which look fabulous as well. These lovely, lovely, fabulous purple petunias. I mean, such a sort of a great mix of colours in there. Calabricoa as well.
Which is like the mini petunias.
Yeah, which is the mini petunia flower. You've got the nice sturdy chain there as well, which will support this basket on those really windy days. Hopefully we'll get lots of lovely sunny days. But you've got colour here that's just going to keep going right the way through summer, right into autumn.
And I would have thought the basket alone must be worth about £7 or £8 just for the basket.
Yeah,
I would have thought.
You would pay, and you know what? I've seen baskets like this recently, £24.99, 25 quid. Yeah. For baskets sort of like this, so the fact that you're going to get 2, buy one get one free for that price is phenomenal.
My local garden centre centre, and it's very upmarket. But their hanging baskets are between £35 and £40. I mean, they're lovely. Don't get me wrong.
They do look good.
But these are working out for club members £13.49.
But look how mature these are already as well. I mean, you know, you get these out of the box, Shaun, and you've got that instant colour. And when you make up your own baskets, yeah, it's nice to make up your own baskets, but there's a lot of effort. You've got to get the compost to start with, then you've got to balance the basket on a bucket, haven't you, to keep it nice and stable so it doesn't go wobbling. Then you've got to get the individual plants, you know, and you sort of put the plants in, and they look nothing, do they, to start with, because they're just sort of those plug plant kind of things are not very developed. These have actually been grown on a little bit, so you've already got that bit of maturity there, even though it's only the end of May. You've already got colour, you've already got a basket that looks something.
And I know this year particularly, Peter McDermott is our head gardener, he did say to all of us, he said that the baskets are better than ever this year, and they truly, truly are. I mean, they are amazing at this price, and again, they have been selling really, really quickly on the YouGarden website. So if you're thinking, oh, I've not had time to do my baskets, or maybe you've got, I don't know, a friend's birthday coming up, maybe you want to treat your mum, I would grab those while you can, because the value is outstanding. To me, they should be about £25 each.
Oh, easily, yeah. I mean, with a basket of that quality. Yeah. And of course, another thing this spring as well, things have lagged a little bit. Well, some things have romped ahead, but some things have lagged a little bit.
The weeds have done well.
The weeds have done well.
The weeds have done really well.
But you know, it has been a bit of a cool spring, isn't it? Obviously, you don't even need to tell you, it's been ridiculously wet. And
I know, again.
Some bedding plants have struggled a little bit to kind of to get a shift on, to be honest.
Some of mine have. I mean, I took them out of the greenhouse because I just thought they needed to sort of like get used to the outside climate. But I've got so many bedding plants that I've grown that are still not flowering. Yeah,
I've got the same. I'll put some outside, and they've almost kind of stopped because it's so cold and it's wet and it's windy and
it's not.
But you know, these, you've already got that kind of advanced growth on there. So instantly out the box, hang these up. You've got a hanging basket that's, you know, fabulous to look at.
Now we are getting busy. Don't forget, postage is free if you spend over £40. So just spend another tenner and you will get free postage. Now, I'm in charge of the group chat today, but it hasn't been quiet. Oh, there's plenty of people chatting. Right, sorry. Let's have a little look. It's coming up. Here we go.
There we go.
Right, I'm just loading it up. I'm on YouTube. Why doesn't it come up?
It's like a Faraday's cage in here. It's like everything. It's always the way. You do something live, like anything technical, and
I'll just type it in YouGarden now.
Done it.
Hang on, I've done it. Hang on, look. It's just come up. It's a bit slow. I blame your internet. This is Stu, by the way, who's in charge of technical. There he is. Go and say hello. He thinks I'm useless with technology, and he's right.
No, he's fine.
Right, what have I done?
Let's go to the live video.
It's a bit slow, isn't it? Your internet needs improving in here, Stu.
Yeah, that's fine.
It is slow.
Is it?
It's like me. Here we go. Live chat. Morning, Shaun. Glad that you're in charge of the technical today. You're brilliant. No, only joking. Elaine, morning. Yes, she's watching an hour. Neil said morning to Shaun and Adam. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning.
Neil always tries to watch, bless him. Elaine's there, Karen's there. Right, what's Elaine got in the basket? She's gone for something yellow.
Yellow? Oh, yellow.
Yeah, I don't know. Julia's there as well. Grimmy or Ian. He's got parent duties today. I know what that's like. Can be challenging. But if you've got... Karen said we all need a stew. We really do. Oh, we do. Seriously, Stu is just so great with technology, and you're a bit like me, aren't you?
I've never even used one of those.
Have you not?
No, I haven't advanced to one of them. I've got a personal computer about the size of a washing machine in my bedroom that I still use.
Anyway, keep the comments coming in. We love it when you chat to us, you know. Right, we better get moving, Adam. We've got loads of plants to show.
What we would like to know is, anyone got any sunshine? We always like to ask that. If you've got some sunshine, let us know, because it'd be good if you have. And
let us know if you're buying those baskets, because they are superb. And that passion flower, because it will go again. It's back in stock, but it did sell out. Right, we've also got hardy ferns. Adam and I were talking about Chelsea. Obviously, Adam's won many awards there with his partner John. Ferns were all the rage at Chelsea this year. Ferns, grasses. Why do you think that is, Adam?
Well, I tell you what, ferns are enjoying the weather these days, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Ferns like damp, they like shade, they like kind of cool, humid kind of conditions. You can get ferns for quite dry conditions as well. But yeah, we've got a great little collection of ferns here. We're not going to specify exactly which ferns you're going to get, so it's going to be a mix of ferns.
But they will all be evergreen.
Yeah, they'll all be evergreen. Yeah. That's the thing. All evergreen ferns. I mean, here, for instance, this one's the deer fern, which I think is Blechnum spicane.
Yeah.
And then we've got the stag's tongue fern there, which is Scolopendrium.
I like the stag's tongue.
They've now renamed it to Philitis, but it used to be called Asplenium.
Yeah, they keep changing names of plants.
Yeah, I
it's
keep
really
calling
annoying.
it Asplenium. What's this one? This is a Blech. This one I don't know exactly. Is it a Blechnum? Let's have a look. Oh no, it's Crytonium fortunei, which is the Japanese holly fern. So,
but you'll get a mixture. They'll all be evergreen. And Adam and I would talk about climate change, and as gardeners, we are all aware of it. And yes, certain plants are thriving, some are not. I mean, there were no tulips at Chelsea because loads of tulips rotted this year. Because too wet.
Just too damp.
Ferns and grasses are loving this new climate that we seem to have, which is a lot of wet, sadly.
Yeah, and these ferns, these are great. I mean, they're great for those sort of low light conditions. They're great for sort of damp positions. You can put them in pots. You can put them in troughs. You can grow them in window boxes. I mean, some of them will take a little bit of sun. They'll take, like, sort of, say, a bit of sun in the morning and late evening
just
sun.
Not afternoon sun.
Yeah, not really baked afternoon sun. But ferns, they just create a lovely atmosphere. If you've got a little shady corner of your garden, it's a bit damp and a bit shady, why not get yourself, find like an old log somewhere that's got a bit of moss on it and some stones that have got a bit of moss growing on the stones, and just kind of put those together and then plant the ferns in between, perhaps put a few hostas around, get yourself a little Japanese maple kind of overhanging the log with the ferns underneath. And all of a sudden, perhaps even create a little water feature as well. All of a sudden, you've created a really gorgeous, interesting, mysterious, cool little corner in the garden where things like ferns will really thrive. And it just brings a different aspect, a different look to the garden, because hot weather will come. And it's so nice on those hot days if you've created that nice little cool corner that you can go and sit in and just kind of enjoy the evergreen of these lovely, lovely ferns.
Now, again, the value is incredible today. £16.70 if you are club members, and you will get all three of those in 9cm pots. Karen has said no sunshine, Adam. Elaine said no sunshine. Keep them coming. But the ferns don't mind if there's little sunshine. They're happy.
They're happy with shade. And I've got loads of ferns in my garden. I've got a north-facing border, and I've got different ferns all the way along. I've got ferns, I've got hostas, I've got some shade-loving grasses, and I just love them because...
So it is worth working with climate change to some degree, and I think these wet periods are probably going to stay by the looks of things. A lot of research is suggesting we are going to have a bit of a wetter climate, sadly, in the UK. Right, we better move on to one that I know is Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, this is a great perennial. I've planted many of these over the years.
Are they?
Yeah, this is a particularly good one, Shaun, because it's got that variegated foliage. So even the foliage is interesting. I mean, it's nice to have green foliage, but when you've got that extra variegation on the edge, that adds an extra attraction to it. And then these lovely soft purple flowers that come on top. These flower for quite a long period of time, and they're a really easy perennial. I've found again over the years these do quite well in shady positions. And once they're established...
So again, would those work well with the ferns, Adam, potentially?
Yeah, you could plant them in the same area as ferns. I'm thinking of a garden that I used to look after in Bishop Stortford, and I planted these polemoniums towards the back of a border. And, they do well in quite sort of dappled shade. And once they're established, I've found they even do well in quite dry conditions as well. So they're a tough perennial. They'll come up year after year after year. They form a nice little clump, and they get to about sort of 12, 18 inches tall on lovely erect spikes that flower for ages. They very seldom need staking. They're just reliable. That's what I like about them. You can sort of plant these probably front of the border, middle of the border, but again, do well in pots, troughs, containers.
I love them. I've got them in my garden, and they're called Stairway to Heaven because the leaves kind of go. It is almost like steps, isn't it?
Yeah, they're meant to
grow.
That kind of look, really. Sort of one steps up. Yeah, well, you can see if you can see like that look. Yeah, kind of little steps going up.
I'll
tell you, Stu, our producer, he's psychic because because I saw those. I was literally getting my finger over the front to point to those leaves, and Stu was there. He was ahead of us.
Well, you know,
but yeah, you get that kind of stepped up look.
The group chat saying everyone needs a stew, and Elaine's just ordered the oleanders. Well done, Elaine. They're great.
Has
well
Stu
done.
got an item number? No. Is there? Yeah. Can we clone Stu and like do little stew lips and send them out to people? Pocket stews.
Honestly, I've known Stu for years, and like he's the only person that is like, to me, is good at everything.
Oh no, he's brilliant.
You know what I mean?
He is. Yeah.
So he set this whole studio up in about a week, bought all the equipment, put everything in, and we were up and running within about a week. And I think for bear in mind we only broadcast from the nursery. It's a big potting shed, but it's a potting shed. It was a shed, and he turned it into a studio, and he'd got all the graphics sorted, all the cameras, all the audio.
He just gets it.
Yeah,
it just falls into place.
And I'm like, how do you use the iPad? So anyway, but I do know I know more about plants than Stu. Although he's beginning to learn a lot about plants as well. He's remembered all the names. But the polemoniums are there. I call them Jacob's Ladder, Stairway to Heaven, lots of different names. All three for $14.97. I think they're amazing value. And then I'm really, really excited about these geraniums coming up. And this one is called Catherine Adele. Over the last few years, Adam, because Adam actually, he's seen my garden, he helped design our garden as well. And I do know, Adam, that there's certain plants that I've sort of discovered from living in a new garden. And hardy geraniums are one of them. Yeah. They work really, really well. And they're so easy, aren't they?
They're easy. And that's what we like to do at YouGarden as well. We don't want to bring you prima donnas or things that are really difficult to grow.
Don't talk about Bex like that.
But no, I mean,
only joking, Bex. It's the last thing she is, to be fair.
No, Bex, we love
She's
Bex.
very down to earth with that, Bex, isn't she?
Absolutely.
But no, you're right. As plants, we do not want too many difficult plants in the garden.
And
then
again,
it becomes hard work.
With the way things are, the way gardening is these days, it's becoming more and more challenging because the weather is more extreme. You can bet your bottom dollar that after this really wet period, I bet we'll have a silly dry period. It'll go the other way for 5 to 6 weeks, and then it'll be like, where did all that rain go? I can't believe I'm watering the garden already after all that rain. It always seems to go like that. So we want to bring you plants that are adaptable, that are easy to grow. And geraniums, I mean, there's so many different types of geraniums. And 99% of them are absolutely it's like falling off a log trying to grow these. They're so easy and straightforward. But this particular one we adore.
It's sweet, isn't it?
Well, if you took the flowers away, the leaves on their own are fabulous, Shaun. And they've got that lovely kind of
lovely markings,
coloration in the middle of the leaves, and the leaves are kind of deeply notched and etched, aren't they? I love the kind of the shape of those leaves. And then look at the flower.
I was going to look at the veining on those petals.
Isn't that glorious? I mean, sort of small flowers, simple flowers, but many flowers just create that very innocent, easy, gentle, pretty, attractive look there. This is a low-growing, ground cover kind of geranium, great for open, sunny positions. And do you know what,
geraniums, and relatively drought tolerant.
Drought tolerant, and a lot of geraniums will grow on quite poor soils. They're not really fussy about soils. They'll grow on quite stony soils, gravelly soils, chalky soils, soils that are quite low in nutrients quite often. They're really, really not particularly fussy at all.
And one thing I have learned, I mean, I'd say Adam's an award-winning garden designer. I sort of like, I don't think I'm bad at laying out gardens and things.
Your garden's stunning.
Thank you.
It is.
But I have learnt that threes really do work, don't they?
Yeah,
they really do.
They do. Yeah, it's great to have things in groups of threes because sometimes we bring you sort of twos and stuff, and we've got a couple of Potentillas, but you wouldn't necessarily plant those in threes because they're shrubs. But yeah, perennials always work well in odd numbers, sort of 3s, 5s, 7s.
I think it just makes it look more natural, doesn't it?
Yeah, because nature well, I've said this before, and then I thought, no, that's rubbish. I said nature doesn't do symmetry, and then I thought crystals and all these other. Nature does symmetry massive, but you know what I mean. You don't sort of you don't see wild flowers growing in kind of perfect blocks of forms.
No, of course
it's all random, isn't it? So planting threes gives that kind of look. So,
and I think one of the troubles now with the climate change and lots of the wet weather, weeds are. I mean, they're just everywhere, aren't they? So if you've got things like geraniums, they fill in the gaps. They stop the weeds. They do just meander into those little gaps, don't they? And they will flower all summer long.
Yeah, they flower. That's the great thing about geraniums. For minimum input, they just keep going. And all you've got to do right at the end of the summer is when those flower stems are finally finished flowering, just trim them back to the main bit of the plant, and then just leave the plant. This one is even sort of semi-evergreen during the winter as well, so you still have a little bit of interest in the winter time.
Which is nice as well, because you remember where they are. So amazing value. First time I've seen it on the show, actually, this particular variety, and it's the adorable Catherine Adele. Highly recommended. Just a little aside as well. Just quickly, I was speaking to a gardening friend of mine called Michael Perry, who you know.
Yeah, I know Michael Perry.
And he said, actually, if you're making up your own hanging baskets, there's no reason why you can't put perennials in those. We sometimes forget, but they'd actually work quite well in a hanging basket, wouldn't they?
They would, yeah. You could keep those in there.
For a looser kind of, less formal hanging basket, they look great, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, again, I don't know why people don't plant up perennial hanging baskets, because, yeah, you can do that with geraniums, because they get a bit dry, that's not going to worry them. And if even after a couple of years and the soil gets a bit poor, they're not going to worry about that too much either.
So just a little alternative as well. Right, just quickly, the oleanders. Elaine's got hers. Yeah, Elaine's got hers. Angela says hi, by the way.
Hi, Angela.
As well. Ian's in there as well, of course.
Hi, Ian.
But
Karen.
yeah.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Yes, any comments come through? Is Bex in the chat? I haven't seen Bex's chat. Where is she? Oh, she's on Facebook, that's why. Dan's on Facebook as well. Partly everyone's talking about beards this morning.
Beards.
Yes. I was just saying, actually, I don't shave mine off now because I just dread to think what's underneath it. I've got a feeling I've probably got a really sort of like fat face.
Well, that's what I said the other day, because my beard was longer than that, and I shaved it the other day, and I didn't realise it's got these little gerbil pouches either side.
And our marketing team, good morning as well.
I didn't know they watched. Better behave.
Yeah, Rach the gang.
We better be on our best behaviour.
We better. Right, oleanders though, they are going quickly. The standard is amazing this year. We work with what we believe to be the top breeder in the world in Sicily. Family business, they've been breeding oleanders for generations actually. They've even got a waiting list for their clients.
10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, 10 years. Can you imagine?
Yeah, so this I cannot emphasise enough. The quality is the best that I've seen, and I've worked with YouGarden for nearly 20 years actually, and I've seen many, many great oleanders, but right now these are prime. You saw them on the nursery, that little footage that I did yesterday, covered in flowers. They're going to flower all summer long. They are evergreen. All you need is a sunny spot. And actually, we often say with oleanders, they thrive on neglect. I mean, in their natural countries, they sometimes don't get rain for several weeks, and they're fine.
Yeah, and they're really good for pollution as well, because sometimes you see them going down the centre of motorways in south of France and places like that, and all the leaves are covered in dust.
And they're still fun, aren't they?
And they, but they just flower away. They're oblivious. I mean, all I ask of you really is give me sunshine and good drainage, and off they go. Yeah.
Right, really, really busy. $26.99. That is the discount club price. Works out £13.50 per oleander. It is a buy one get one free. Right, we have got something amazing for you right now. One of the best sellers this week. Our Prisma pots. Now, I have to let you know, these are what we call closeout. When they are gone, they are gone. And I forgot to order mine yesterday.
Love these.
I am. Do you know what? I do forget things. So I am going to place my order today. Don't forget, by the way, you are going to get your free gift today. Those gorgeous lilies. Free delivery when you spend over £40. But you just need to use that code, remember, which is on the screen, which is YG. There it is. I forgot it for a second. TV2224. Right, so basically,
I'm glad you're doing this bit.
YG TV 2224. Right, these are normally $7.99 each. Do you know what? If you saw that in a really nice garden centre, $7.99, you actually think, oh, that's good. That's really good. But today you're going to save £1, $6.99, but it's a buy one get one free, so that's working out £3.50. However, if you want a whole display of these, the more you order, the more you save today. So look at this. Buy two or more, $5.99 each. But we'll give you, remember, it's a buy one get one free. So if you buy two, you get two free. Buy 5 or more, only $4.99 each. Buy 10 or more, $3.99 each. But remember, when we say 10, it's working out $3.99 each. If you buy 10, you'll also get 10 free. So the bottom line is, if you're buying 10, you'll receive 20, and it will work out £2 a pot. 180 if you are a club member.
£1.80.
£1 if you're a club
That's
member
mad.
and you buy 20, well 10 and get 10 free, £1.80. And last week, several of you did that. Several of you ended up with 20 of these. And what I just love so many things about these. I love the colour, I love the design, I love the drainage, I love the fact that they're frost-proof, that they're UV resistant, and I love the size. To me, that is a really good size for a lot of plants.
This is precise size. Well, I mean, for instance, the Oleander. I mean, if you ordered the Oleanders,
Elaine,
fantastic.
have you got a pot, Elaine, for yours? Now that red and green, I think works so well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that looks fabulous, doesn't it? Sitting in there, so immediately, and that Oleander would be happy in there for a good sort of 2 or 3 years. And let's just pick a few other things we've got behind us, Shaun, because as you say, these are such a good size. Let's, for instance, the amethyst falls. I mean, you could have the amethyst falls in there for a couple of years as well, if you want to get that started.
Again, purple and green look nice,
Purple and green look good. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Wow, that looks stonking in there, doesn't it? I mean, that was absolutely gorgeous. So that's really happy in there, and we're going to bring you this later. So how gorgeous is this wisteria? Beautiful. That is absolutely stunning, and it doesn't romp away like the other types either. It's not insane. And so I know you've got your eye on, Shaun. Just quickly, just show you this.
Now
this Acer Negundo.
I am buying this Acer today, and I just double checked with Adam because what I need I need a fast growing Acer basically, because I've got some massive ones in my garden. And there's a big gap, and I want a different colour because I've got lots of greens and kind of burgundy colours in one side of my garden. I need some pink. But I need it to be fast because my other Acer is about 2.5 metres, and this is probably, am I right in saying, Adam, one of the fastest growing Acers? It's got to be, actually, that we know.
This is Acer Negundo Flamingo. I've planted various ones of these over the years. I used to have one in my old garden in Bishop Stortford, and once this got established, I'm not exaggerating, in one season, it used to grow 4 or 5 foot tall, and what I used to do the option's yours. What I used to do each spring, I got it to kind of pretty much the top of the fence, and I didn't want it any taller. So each spring, I used to cut it right back down to the top of the fence. By the end of the summer, it would be 4 or 5 foot above the top of the fence again. And it did that in one season. I used to look after, and when I say used, you might be thinking, he doesn't seem to keep hold of any of his customers. I moved. So I used to live in Bishop Stortford. Now I live in Swaffham in Norfolk. So yeah, I used to look after a garden in Hertford, and there were 2 of these. In the garden in Hertford, they used to go nuts. So if you want an Acer, something that's going to grow very quick, I mean, this can grow into a small tree if you want it to.
Wow.
But the great thing about it is it's very happy being clipped or pruned back. And I would do that right at the start of the season. So when you sort of get to the end of winter, then trim it right back. I used to do mine probably sort of late March, something like that. Then it sends out all these lovely new shoots. And the good thing about it as well...
I love those new shoots. I love the pink, Adam.
Well, that's the good thing, because the newest shoots have the pinkest coloration. So, the more new shoots you can get, the more dramatic that pink coloration is. And then, as the foliage matures, it goes back to that kind of more just white and greens coloration.
Well, we've just had a lovely email come in from Margaret. Good morning, Margaret. I'm just proving to Stu that I do know how to find things like emails on this tablet. It's giving me a bonus point. And Margaret said, morning to my 2 favourite people.
Oh, thanks,
Thank you
Margaret.
so much, Margaret. I must say, I was really excited to be working on it because it's been ages.
Yeah, it's been a while, yeah. Well, when you turn up, because in my mind, I was thinking it was going to be Bex, and I saw you walk across the car park. Oh, it's Shaun. Yeah. I forgot I was on with Shaun today. So that was nice.
Bex is not with us today, but she's back Sunday. But you always, I think it's fair to say, whoever's on the show, we've got a lovely team.
Do you know what we should do?
We all bring something a bit different.
We should have all 3 of us on one day, shouldn't we?
I'd love that.
Be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd love that. And Peter as well, who's our head gardener. Anyway, Margaret said compost is on its way. 2 boxes, pots ready to plant. I've got to get it all done today as getting my decking cleaned tomorrow morning. And no, seriously, no. Surely not. It's sunny in Edinburgh. There's some sunshine somewhere in the country.
I'm off.
In the car.
And
it's going to be hot over the weekend.
Do you know what? Ironically, in recent times, Scotland, parts of Scotland have had warmer and sunnier temperatures than down here.
And I'm really pleased because sometimes
Well, they have it rough.
I mean, I love Scotland,
weather-wise.
but sometimes, the weather can be a bit rough.
But in the last year or so, it's almost flipped a little bit.
So, Margaret, thank you so much. Glad your compost on its way. Glad you got some sunshine, and glad you're going to get your planting done. Apparently, it's good weather all weekend, so we'll try and get the orders out as soon as we can. 18, 20 degrees. We class that now as tropical in the UK, don't we? 18, 20 degrees. Right, the pots, just quickly. I love the Acer. I'm ordering mine. But if you do want the pots, the value is incredible. They are not coming back. Grab them today. I need to place my order. I absolutely love the pots. But let's remind you of some of the items we've seen this morning on YouGarden TV. Right, back in stock today after a complete sellout. It is our Passiflora. These are absolutely gorgeous. They are the most stunning plants that you could ever imagine. And I can honestly say my mum's fence last year, covered in these flowers, was quite magical. Really quite fast growing, easy to look after, but you just need the sunniest spot possible. 550334. The value today on that, it's a really well established plant in a 2 litre pot, about 90 centimetre came with it, so close to a metre, and that is only £9.99. The discount price is £8.99 if you're a club member as well. Don't forget, you've got to use that offer code today, YGTV2224. Right, the Oleanders are proving really popular this morning. And you are going to get buy one, get one free. Now, I have not seen oleanders anywhere else this year in the UK on my travels. I haven't seen them in the big, what I call the big sheds. I haven't seen them in the garden centres. They are very difficult to get hold of in the UK. And the reason we've got them here at YouGarden, we work with the top breeder, we believe, in the world in Sicily. So these arrive, first of all, very safely, but of the highest standard. They're covered in multiple stems, multiple flowers. They are hardy to -5. They love sunshine and they love well-drained soil. And they do, once they're established, they do, I say thrive and neglect, but you don't need to constantly mollycoddle these at all.
You don't, no, just say plant them somewhere sunny and well-drained. And if you ever do want to prune them or clip them back, just wear gloves, because the sap can be a bit toxic on these. So just wear gloves if you prune them back. But honestly, there's loads of plants in the garden.
Well, I was going to say I was pruning my euphorbia yesterday, and that
it's
not yesterday, on Tuesday. Yeah, and that the same thing with the sap.
It's just about common sense at the end of the day. I mean, I wear gloves every day at work, no matter what plants I'm working with, just to protect my hands. Full stop, really.
I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt today because my arms are covered in scratches and bruises from gardening.
Yeah,
right. Because I'm butchering that garden, Adam. Right, what else we got for you? We've got, I love these. Again, £29.99, £26.99. That is for a pair. They have been beautifully planted with tricolour verbena, calibrachoa, the mini petunias, gorgeous, rich purple petunias. We call them eat and mess because of the colour. Because an eat and mess, when you make it, actually looks a mess. Mine does anyway in a bowl. But the colour of an eat and mess is like pinks with you and purples with raspberries, strawberries. The colour palette is amazing. But also the plants that have been selected all grow at the same rate. I mean, I've done hanging baskets before, Adam, and then suddenly I've had like a massive fuchsia one side, a huge geranium shoved at the back, and then a little bit.
And it all goes lopsided.
Yeah, and then a bit of bacopa one side that's a bit too dainty. So these have been really well grown, haven't they?
Yeah, it's nice to get that even growth pattern in it, Shaun. So if every plant gets to share its own space, one isn't going to outcompete the other. But oh my goodness me, I mean, one thing you're guaranteed with these baskets is just an endless profusion of incredible colour, because all these plants just love to flower their socks off. And all you need to do with these, well, first thing you know, keep them well watered, but secondly, liquid feed your hanging baskets once a fortnight. Use our blooming fast, or use liquid seaweed or liquid tomato feed, and you'll just keep them flowering.
I must admit, I think our blooming fast for hanging baskets is amazing.
Well, it has the trace elements
yes,
as well.
Yes, it
so
does.
It's not everything
and really
made.
high in your NPK as well. Julia, I promise you we will answer your question about your passion flower when we go back to it, okay? So, Julie, stay watching, and when we go back to the passion flower, we will answer your question, okay? Julie keeps clean hers. Sorry. So we will deal with that, Julie. Right.
Have you noticed something about the agapanthus? I mean, I can't guarantee they'll all be like that.
I've noticed it's got a bud on it.
Yeah, it's got a bud already. Yeah, I saw that. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous?
Have a look at this. Now, we're not going to guarantee it, but actually, because of the size of the pot, 3 litres, these are already well established. So you may well get yours already in bud. Now, I love Agapanthus, Adam, but this variety is brilliant for most modern gardens because it's a smaller, more compact Agapanthus.
It is, and I'm not going to show myself up here because I'm sure I'm right in saying this. This has got the lifetime guarantee, this one. I'm sure this has got the snowflake symbol on it, this particular one, which is good because some Agapanthus, like Agapanthus africanus, don't necessarily get through British winters. They rot off, they're not hardy enough. This type does. This will get through a British winter. And wow, Shaun, look at that. I mean
that bicolour is stunning.
It is amazing. The way that the top of the plant, the behind the actual flower, has got that deep, deep blue, and then it fuses out to that soft purple. And you know, we think of the whole thing as a flower head, don't we? But I mean, this is individual flowers making up that entire flower head. And these can get to like tennis ball size, these flower heads, look fabulous. And they stay in bloom for many, many weeks. They send up more flower spikes. They don't all come up at once. You'll get some come up and flower. As some of those go over, some more flowers will come. So these flower for a long period of time. A bit like the oleanders, they like to grow in very hot, sunny, well-drained positions. They make fabulous, fabulous pot plants as well, because oleanders are quite happy being quite pot-bound.
And what about Agapanthus?
Agapanthus, yeah. Agapanthus, yeah, good job somebody's on the ball. Agapanthus love being really, really pot-bound.
Happens to the best of us.
So yeah, I went off on one there. But oleanders don't mind being pot-bound as well, but Agapanthus, it almost forces them to flower more when they're pot-bound in a pot.
Now, Adam did mention a couple of minutes ago about this having the snowflake symbol, and if you're thinking, hang on, what is he going on about? Basically, if any of the plants that you order on YouGarden, when you look at the product description, if it has it's like a blue snowflake symbol, it does mean that it's classed as fully winter hardy. And the best thing about that is it means that you get a lifetime guarantee. So if you ever buy a plant from us that is classed as fully winter hardy and it dies, get in contact with our customer service. We will replace it for free. All you will pay is the postage. So do bear that in mind. And that, to me, that's one of the best things about ordering at YouGarden, that peace of mind. Because even the best of us, we all sometimes kill the odd plant, don't we? I nearly killed a hydrangea the other week because I just didn't want. It just didn't get enough water. It has forgiven me, and actually it's bounced back quite nicely, but it did look like...
Yeah.
I did want to kill... I mean, we've all done it, haven't we?
Well, sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, because, I've found as a gardener over the years, if something dies, people always want a definitive answer as to why it's died, but sometimes it just isn't one.
I know.
For some, a plant just gives up. It might not like the position it's in. It could be something that might have attacked the roots. It could be environmental.
Well, Julie does want a definitive answer about passion flowers.
Okay, all right.
We'll answer that when we get to it. But seriously, that Agapanthus is stunning. The great thing is we do sell these in 9cm pots. It's in a 3-litre pot, so it's well established. Should be $14.99 on the website. The YouGarden price today, YouGarden TV price, is $11.99 as well. That's what we talk about, the winter hardy. That's that snowflake.
Yeah, the little snowflake there. And this is a stunning Agapanthus.
It really is,
so beautiful, so elegant. Grow these, you'll love these. They'll come back year after year. They form bigger and bigger clumps, and they just look glorious.
Yeah. Grab yours today. Really busy, so thank you so much to everyone that's watching. Don't forget, we are live till 1 o'clock today, and lots of things that we've got are really, really exceptional value today. The pots, you've got to get those. That passion flower, I must have. The oleanders, definitely. But I think that Agapanthus should be on your list as well. But I'm going to move on to the Potentilla next, known as Red Robin, this one. And I'll be honest, Adam, a lot of the plants that we have every show I've got in my garden, because I've worked with YouGarden for nearly 20 years. So I have got an awful lot of their plants. But this is one that I've never grown,
Yeah,
actually.
Potentilla fruticosa, they're a great range of shrubs. They come in so many different colours. I mean, you can get pink, you can get white, you can get yellow.
Yeah, I've seen the yellow ones as well, yeah.
This is a deep, deep red one. Totally hardy, really, really hardy, these plants. They're nice and compact. You can keep them trimmed if you want to. You can lollipop them, or you can leave them to grow into a more kind of wild, natural shape. They're drought tolerant. They grow on quite poor soils. In fact, I remember when I was a kid, we used to go down to this fantastic cottage down in Cornwall. We used to have some lovely friends, and they're called Pim and Maud, and they used to have these...
Called what?
Pim and Maud.
Oh, great
Yeah,
names.
his name was
Great.
Pim, the lady's name was Maud. Yeah, lovely couple. I mean, they're long gone now, but they were a wonderful couple. Would never forget them. And they used to have the most fabulous garden and lots of raised beds, because where they were down in, I think it was Devon, yeah, not calling it Devon, they had really stony soil. So quite often, every time you went to stick a spade in, you just hit rock. So what they did was they made these raised beds out of all the rocks and stones, and they had loads and loads of Potentillas growing there, and it was really hot and dry and really flinty kind of poor soil. Potentillas loved it. They flowered their socks off. And the good thing about Potentillas, you know, some shrubs just tend to flower for like 4 weeks or 6 weeks and that's it. Potentilla just keep going all the way through.
So I love that.
Yeah, once they start flowering, which won't be far from now, right up to September, even to October, they just keep going.
And one thing I've learned, in fact, it was actually at one of our garden club meetings. We had Nick Bailey, who did a lot of coverage of Chelsea this year.
He's brilliant, that guy.
He's really good.
He's amazing.
He did a talk about 365 days of colour in your garden, and there's it wasn't just about planting. It was lots of ideas how to get more colour. And I sat there thinking, wow, if I could get my garden to have colour every day of the year, lots of colour, how amazing would that be? So a plant like this. Because I was moaning about my peonies earlier. I said to Adam, "Oh, you know, they were just coming out, and now it's rained again, and they're all they're not great. You know, peonies are not great this year because of the weather. So I'm thinking a little bit differently about my garden. What could give me colour for the longest period? So that now, Adam, you've just sold that to me.
Potentilla will be brilliant in your garden. They really are one of the easiest shrubs possible. They'll grow in full sun. They'll grow in dappled shade.
And because my garden's quite exposed, as you know, they'd be okay.
They'll be fine. They're great coastal plants.
Yeah.
They're great for windy positions, and they only get to about probably waist height maximum. So they're a nice sort of compact plant.
And how long will it take? Because these are in 9cm pots, so they're quite young. But will they grow relatively quickly?
Yeah, I mean, within a couple of years they'll be kind of sort of knee height, and they're quite nice because they form quite a nice dome shape.
Yeah, I've noticed that's just quite.
Yeah, they're neat growing. They're nice and
they're not straggly.
And I'll tell you a good thing about them as well. They have lovely yellow leaves in the autumn. They're not evergreen, but what you do find with these, they've got quite a wiry sort of branch structure, and quite often in the winter time, you quite often see the little birds. They like to get in amongst these on a winter's day. I think they just find little insects and things to predate on during the winter months.
Right, just quickly, I'm just checking the group chat again. There's lots of people asking about the Osteospermums. Am I allowed to say anything yet, Stu? So basically, the Osteospermums are coming up, but the lovely Bex messaged us this morning, and basically an email had gone out with a slightly better price than what was on the TV show. So so Stu's been on it with the team, and we're getting the price reduced. so hold on. We basically had a pack of 6 for $19.99, if I remember rightly.
These are the hardy Osteospermums.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the purple sun ones.
Oh, purple sun. So purple sun.
So you could overwinter them if you needed to. But basically, we're doing that offer today. So if you want to shop with YouGarden TV and use your discount and everything else, we are doing now 3 of those Osteospermums for $4.97. So if you want 6, just get 2 lots. That is amazing. I'm going to thank Bex for that because she was on it this morning. Although literally I checked my emails about 5 minutes later and I saw the same email. But the whole team's worked on it. So everyone that's waiting for the Osteospermums, $4.97. We've just changed the price. You need to get them in your basket now. Now I've actually got these growing in my garden right now, but I grew them from plug plants. When I look at the price that you're getting for really established plants, all the love and effort that I put into it, we've done it for you. And I was out in the nursery yesterday checking these out. I mean, seriously, it was amazing. We just saw this whole bed of Osteospermums. They are incredible. So just have a look at this, but grab them now because we've just reduced the price for today's show. Well, the sun's shining, so I thought I'd come out on the YouGarden nursery and look what caught my eye. These are the Osteospermum purple sun. I mean, they are absolutely incredible. And when you think about how bad the weather's been, we've had a lot of rain the past few days. These have stood up beautifully. Now the sun's out, they are just glorious. And what I've noticed, so many bees, so many butterflies, just having an absolute party on these amazing flowers. I've actually got these growing in my garden this year, and in my opinion, they do just look great en masse. So you get 6 of these, don't forget. So maybe 3 in a decent sized pot, obviously 2 pots, and they're going to give you this absolutely outstanding show all summer long. I love the combination of the purples, the oranges, a little bit of yellow in there as well. Very easy to grow. They're just like full sun. They will tolerate a little bit of drought, and they will flower all summer long. And you may even choose to overwinter these and protect them from the frost and then grow them again next year. So so you get 6. How many would you like? 600? Because they're all here right now at the YouGarden nursery. So we've changed the price, we've dropped it, and say thank Bex for this, because she got on it this morning. Stu then followed everything up. So if you want 6, you'll now get them for less than £10, and I cannot recommend those highly enough. I've got them in my garden. Bex grew them last year. You adore them, don't you?
Yeah, they're gorgeous. I mean, yeah, my other half has them in the front garden. I mean, the colour range. Well, when we get to them, we'll show you. I mean, the way the colours just sort of bleach out from one colour to another through the petals, and they're like all the colours of a sunrise or a sunset. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. So look, honestly, I think they're the best offer we've had in months. They are incredible. And you might even, I think they look really good on mass. We saw they look really good on mass. So you might even want to order several lots. One of the themes at Chelsea, some of the gardens had a lot of what I call block colours this year. So I think these look great just on mass. 3 of those in a 30cm pot is going to make the most amazing display, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're so unfussy as well. Again, all these ask for is put me in somewhere sunny and well drained. They're not even particularly fussy about, you know, really posh or kind of super rich soils. They're going quite poor soils. Yeah. Just so easy to grow. They're stunning, aren't they?
Yeah, I know these were Bex's from last year. Yeah,
looking glorious there.
Mine are not that far out yet, but I planted mine outside. Tuesday, and I've just done 3 massive white pots. And Anne, I know you've sent us some pictures of yours. They're amazing, and the price now today is incredible. But I'd snap those up today. I'd get them in your basket and try and get your order to over £40, and you'll get free delivery as well. But well done.
Beautiful picture, that picture just then. We ought to keep that as one of our pictures with the little raindrops on the petals there. That was stunning. You look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely. Looks stunning, that picture.
I loved them so much. What I did after I'd done that little bit of filming, I lied down next to them and actually put a picture on my social media. I just thought they're so beautiful. I lied down next to them. So if you want to see that as well, just check me out on Shaun Ryan Presenter and Plant Man. So I'll put a little picture on my Facebook and on Instagram. So it's Shaun Ryan Presenter and Plant Man, should you wish to have a look at that as well. Orders coming in for those. Well done, everybody. And say big thank you to Bex for getting on that, because we got the price changed, and Stu for sorting it all out. So we've done it.
We're on it.
We're on it.
I can't take credit.
Love
you guys.
We love you, gardening friends. You tune in every week. We want you to have the best deals, and they are incredible. They're already in flower. They're in 9cm pots. You get 3 for £4.97. And try and wangle the postage so you get your order to over £40. You know, grab some compost. Grab those lovely green pots. Do you think the Osteospermum would look good in those green pots?
Definitely.
I do. I think that could work, because purple and green quite often works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's been surprising. You know, everything we've put in those pots works. I
tell you what, we'll plant 3 of them up in those pots and see what they look like. We'll do that live in the show. Right, we better move on though, because they are flying, by the way, 560812, all orders already coming through. I'm not surprised at all. But we're going to move on to our Corydalis blue heron. Orders already gone through for these, actually. And I have to say, Adam, for me, these are one of the most fascinating flowers that I've ever grown. The blue is like electric. You've got the little white centre to the trumpet, then you've got the green stems, and then that gorgeous foliage. So it's such an incredibly beautiful and interesting plant, and it's fragrant as well.
Yeah, it's got the most unusual colour. You know, and don't say that we don't cover all bases either, because we've gone from Osteospermums like full sun and can grow in really dry soil and quite open exposed positions. Now we've gone to a plant that does really well in shade or damp soil, humid conditions and shadier conditions. Look at that.
Yeah, and again, those were taken by Bex last year, actually. Now, we had the ferns on earlier. And I've actually got mine with ferns under a tree, and they love it there.
They do, yeah. That's a really, really good combination there. You know, where ferns grow, these would grow. I had these in my previous garden, and I didn't realise just how incredibly fragrant they were. And I remember being out in the garden one day and thinking, I keep picking up that really nice fragrance. Where am I getting that fragrance from? And eventually, I sort of knelt down. I took a little whiff of these. Oh, so sweet, such a sweet, delicious fragrance. And the flowers are such an unusual blue, like a kingfisher kind of blue, aren't they?
Blue is one of the rarest colours in nature.
It is, yeah.
You don't see blue a lot in flowers, do
you?
And
in the UK particularly, blue is that kind of blue is a really, really limited colour. So, and these are nice, sort of dainty little plants. They only get about 6-7 inches tall.
Yeah, it's about 30 centimetres.
Yeah, about 30 centimetres.
This sort of clump form.
And the foliage, the foliage has got that kind of reddy coloured kind of foliage. I'm really lovely, delicate. In fact, the foliage is almost fern-like, isn't it? Kind of ferny-like foliage, and quite a few weeks of colour on these. They sort of spring, aren't they? Sort of spring into...
They are, although sometimes mine have randomly flowered a little bit later on as well. Yeah, but mostly spring flowering.
Mostly spring, yeah, sort of spring to late spring, perhaps very early summer.
In fact, we just talked about position for these. Bex and I were both saying yesterday we did try them in a slightly sunnier spot and they just hated it. They really did. So
yeah, they like cool, damp, dappled shade.
So woodland, basically.
Woodlandy, yeah. You think of woodland. You think of the sort of places bluebells grow and thrive, or foxglove grow and thrive. And we've got some foxgloves as well. Again, they make great partners. These and foxgloves, they like that kind of damp, cool soil.
So I've got a question for you, Adam. I have very rarely seen these in garden centres.
Yeah, I don't know why, because you'd think they'd absolutely fly, wouldn't they? I mean, I've seen the yellow one, the Corydalis lutea, which, you know, is, again, grows in very similar conditions, not as fragrant as this one. But yeah, I mean, look at the plug plants here. I mean, look at the root system on those, Shaun. We're bringing you those really super... these are our jumbo plugs, aren't they? I think we call these. So we've got the jumbo plugs there in the little greenhouse.
And we say all of our packaging, don't forget, 100% recyclable. We've spent many years really developing our packaging, so plants arrive in perfect condition. And if ever they don't, let our customer services know and we will sort it out for you. You know, we want you to be long-term customers, and that is really important here at YouGarden. So if there ever is a problem, please let us know and we will sort it. We'll do our very best to sort it. Right, we are now going to move on to our chick charms goldmine. And
again,
I didn't buy this yesterday, but now I've come back to it. I'm like, I really like that.
Yeah, well, again, we've jumped again to another extreme, because the Corydalis we was talking about, cool, damp, don't like to dry out. These are the most insanely drought-tolerant plant you could ever grow. These practically grow in dust. I mean, you know, you can almost never water these wherever you've got them, and they thrive. They used to grow them on roofs of houses, and they used to,
I've seen that.
Yeah, and they used to believe that it would deter lightning strikes. Although I was talking to Bex at the weekend, and Bex heard a similar story. I think she said the Romans used to plant these on top of thatched buildings. So again, if they got hit by lightning, because these are very sort of liquidy and sort of full of moisture, yeah, if the lightning hit these, it wouldn't set the thatch on fire, because you know it would kind of release the water from these first. So you know, I don't know how true any of these are, but there's a couple of little, you know, not rumours. What's the story? What's the words for myths? Yeah, about these plants.
What I can honestly say is, if you've got just, I think these look really good in terracotta pots with gravel.
Oh, they do.
They look really good, and you're always getting little babies as well.
Look on the side there.
There you go.
Let's see if we can again.
And Adam, in terms of propagation, the little babies are so easy to propagate.
They are. I mean, good root system. You can't see these are dark roots on here. These little babies on the side. Yeah, I mean, literally, you get these little tiny babies on the side. You can just pluck one of them babies off with a little bit of stem, poke it into the soil, and they just root and grow away.
And normally we'd say, oh, use some rooting powder, but actually with these, they root so easy.
Look, one just dropped off there. So I'll show you. Let's go. I've got the compost. Let's get that out of the way. So you know, you've got a little bit of stem.
A little pot.
Yeah, we can do. So literally, all you need to do is just put some compost in a pot like that. just press that down a little bit. And if a little bit breaks off, like this one here, just take off a few of the lower leaves. You can do something they call callousing. So you can sometimes just leave these for a day or two, just on a surface like that. And what that does, that calluses over the end and lets it dry out a little bit, so that when you put it in the compost, the end doesn't rot off. So literally all you do is
just great, isn't it?
Make
Free
a little
plants.
hole like that, just tap the soil down, round it like that, give it a little drink, put that to one side. Within a couple of weeks, that will root and you've got another plant. It is as simple as that. They are the easiest thing in the world to propagate.
I'm going to ask you if you can take that home.
Go for it.
And I'll show you how that develops.
Just give it a drink to start with, put it somewhere nice and sunny and bright. That will root away and it'll start growing away within a month or so.
I have got some of its relatives in little pots, terracotta pots with gravel, and they look great, so that'd be a nice addition.
And they're such different colours, aren't they, Shaun? I mean, the one we've got here has got that sort of wonderful green and red.
Burgundy green.
Some are orange, some have almost like a cobwebby kind of effect, but they look like this all the year through. And although, this is a succulent, you might think, oh yeah, but in a really bad frost, that's going to just turn to mush. They don't. They are ridiculously bone hardy. And then eventually, they send out a flower stem with these gorgeous, sometimes they're pink, sometimes they're pinky white flowers.
They're amazing
sort
plants,
of curved flower head. Really, really great for the most crazy dry rockeries, scree gardens, gravel gardens.
And great, I would say, for urban gardens as well.
Gardens, yeah. So and roof planting, with the green roofs. Great for green roof planting.
So it is the Sempervivum, the Chick Charm Giants, Gold Mine, $9.99 or £8.99 if you are a club member. Really, really delighted so many of you are ordering today. I've got my Osteospermums, Purple Sun, ready to plant up as well, Adam. Do that a little bit later on.
Yeah, you've got to go for those.
Yeah, I've got them prepared there with the planters. But we're also just going to remind you of the asters. And I don't know what it is, Adam, but...
Excuse me.
I don't think I've grown enough asters in the last few years, and they are such a brilliant plant to fill in that gap. As a lot of your summer bedding dies back, these burst into life late summer, early autumn, and they really flower up to the first frost, don't they?
They do, and the colours on these
Oh,
they've got these
amazing.
pastel kind of colours. And the good thing about these is I get that, I know a lot of people do, I get that SAD, that seasonal affective disorder.
I get that.
Yeah, and I find kind of late summer, heading towards autumn, I get that horrible feeling of dread and
winter coming.
And these are just like an antidote for that in the garden. They're like chrysanthemums, because they right at the end of the season, just when other things are starting to look a bit dog-eared and going over and finished flowering, these just explode into colour. They're like short day plants. They're actually triggered by lower light and lower day length, shorter day length. And they just burst out into these fabulous domes of colour that last up to 4 to 6 weeks, go all the way up to the frost. They make nice little compact domes, probably 12, 18 inches tall. Got these in the front garden at home. And they are just a joy. Yeah. They bring in the late summer pollinators, so they bring in the bees, the sort of the butterflies, the lacewings, all the sort of lovely pollinating insects. They're bone hardy. They come up year after year.
Perennials. Year after year, and they do get bigger and stronger, I'd say.
They do, yeah. And I found these particular ones to be mildew resistant as well, because some Michaelmas daisies historically have suffered from mildew. I've found these personally myself to not suffer from mildew, which is great. And again, thinking back to some Michaelmas daisies varieties, they get really tall and then they flop over and they look a mess. These have been bred to be, as you can see there, just perfectly compact, dome-shaped, but look at the colour. I mean, to get that lovely pastel-y purple colour and that pastel-y pink and darker purple with the yellow centre to them, these are just a real joy at the end of the summer. It's almost like realising that you thought it was the end of your holiday and you were going home tomorrow, and then you realise actually it's the day after tomorrow, and it's like, yes, I've got extra, I've got a bonus. Just when you think summer's over, these pop out and they just keep summer going for you for that little bit longer. Brilliant plugs here. Easy to grow.
Right, we're really busy today. I've just heard how many people have been ordering those hanging baskets. People have been ordering them in multiples. I need to get mine ordered. I ordered 4, but I'm thinking I should get a few more.
Well,
I don't know if they need any more. Hang on, it's 4 enough, Adam. I don't know. Right, compost time next. Actually, while we're talking about the compost, can I plant up my Osteospermum?
Yeah, go for it.
I might as well while I'm here. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think we've got enough. Should we just use one of these bags? Oh, let's go for one of these.
Yeah, go on.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
So, this is our best-selling product, the Premium Official Compost here at YouGarden, 250-litre bags for $22.48 if you're a club member. And Adam, I don't know about you, but I've used this compost for years.
I have, indeed.
But occasionally I have tried another compost, and it's normally if I've run out, if I'm honest, and I'm in a bit of a rush. But I have seen and experienced so many poor composts in my time. Composts that are dank, composts that don't smell good, composts that don't have a great fibrous texture, composts that got big chunks in them. I've found when I've tried some of the peat-free compost, and don't get me wrong, I think we all, thank you very much.
Sorry, Shaun, go on.
That's where we need to move to eventually, but I found some of them dry out very quickly, some of them don't seem to accept feed that well. So our compost is 50% composted wood fibre, 3 different types of peat, white and dark peat, and you've got things like sphagnum moss peat that are replenishable. What I will say is we have reduced the amount of peat over the years.
And we're going that way more and more, aren't we?
Of course we are, but we're putting in the minimum amount to give maximum results. You've got an amazing slow-release fertilisers. All of the green balls that you'll see throughout the compost will give you great food for up to 6 months. And you can see there they are just scattered amongst all of the compost. There you go. So those little green balls there are your slow-release fertiliser. There's a buffing agent in there as well, and that basically puts the compost at the perfect pH for most plants, apart from the acid-loving ones. And you've even got, I really like the wetting agent, Adam, because so many times in summer when we get those extreme temperatures, baskets can dry out in hours, and then you try and re-water them, and all the water goes over the side of the basket.
Yeah, it just runs straight off all over you.
So annoying. This allows look at these roots, by the way, on the Osteospermum.
They're just
so this allows the compost to rehydrate very, very quickly.
It's called, it makes the compost known as something called hydrophilic.
Hydrophilic, that was it.
Yeah. It means it loves water, which it does. As you say, some compost, it just runs straight off. It runs off all over you. And then you've got to fiddle about soaking the pots in buckets, haven't you, and stuff like that to try and hydrate the compost. You don't have to do that with these.
Now, we've just planted up the Osteospermums. Now, I will be honest, I overplant everything, okay? So one of those in that pot would fill it this year. But I've gone for instant, okay? I'm imagining, I'm doing the pub garden. It's a busy bank holiday weekend. I need to transform the garden instantly. So one actually in that pot would fill it over the summer months, but we've put 3 in there if you want to overplant. But I have to say, I think that works really well with the planters, don't you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, that green looks amazing.
Doesn't it?
It's weird, really. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised green goes with plants, should we, really, when most plants are green and most leaves are green, aren't they? So,
let's just recap. So, Adam, if you want to go for these planters, we're clearing them out. When I say clearing them out, they're on what we call rundown. They are not coming back. We are not able to reorder them. So the price today is amazing. It's a buy one, get one free. And if you multi-order, I like your thinking, by Adam. If you multi-order and go for 10, you'll get 10 free, and the price actually goes down to £2 a pot when you're multi-ordering and going for 10, or £1.80 for club members. And then, so there's the details you can see there. 2 or more, £5.99, but it's a buy one, get one free, don't forget. So it'd work out £3 each. 5 or more, it works out £2.50 a pot. And then if you buy 10, it works out £2 a pot, because it's on a buy one, get one free. Some of you have been buying literally tens of those. They were £7.99 each originally. But if you want the Osteospermums that we're just planting up right now, we have dropped the price of the Osteospermum Purple Sun today. They are going really, really quickly. So we had a 6-pack at 20 quid basically. Now you're getting 3 for £4.97. So the value is amazing. And sorry, I like the idea of just softening these with lobelia.
Yeah, well, we've got the lobelia. We've got this, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've actually got this trail away lobelia. So I'm just thinking there's a few gaps in between.
I like that.
So literally, you can just sort of embellish that now with that lobelia. So you've got upright colour with the Osteospermums, and then in no time at all, this lobelia is going to just trail over the top and give you yet another dimension to that pot. And this is all directly from us. I mean, literally, you've got the pots, we supply the compost, we supply the osteospermums, we supply the lobelia, really quickly, really simply. And think if
I mean, look at that. That's cost only a few pounds. Actually.
Well, I mean, if you're doing the buy 10 get 10 free, what we were saying in the club, 188 was it? 188 a pot. that's insane. When initially, look on the bottom there. They were $7.99. So that saving when you buy that amount of pots is really almost paying for the plants, isn't it?
It really is. I think that pot is, well, it looks really nice. It's going to look amazing in a couple of weeks, isn't it? When that lobelia just fills out a bit, when it starts to trail.
Beautiful. It looks lovely now.
It really does. And the plants have cost for club members less than $4.50. The pot, if you multi-order, can be as low as $1.80 for club members, and a little bit of lobelia. So absolutely fantastic. Who would not want that? Bundle of joy in their garden. 560-862 for those. And if you want the lobelia, it's 410-092. 30 garden ready plants for $19.97. Huge value, $17.97 if you are a club member as well. We are having a lovely show. We are live right now in the potting shed. If you do want to chat with us, don't forget you can chat on YouTube, Facebook. You can email the studio, of course, as well. Now, we've got the details for the 6 Osteospermums on the screen, but don't buy them. So that was the price yesterday. This is what we want. Yay! 3 for £4.97 or £4.47. And I cannot emphasise enough the beauty of these. I've got them in my garden this year. I just fell in love with them. I think the colours, the way that they fade is amazing. And the pollinators love these. These are like big landing pads for all of your pollinators. Out in the nursery yesterday, these were surrounded by bees and butterflies, just having an absolute whale of the time. All they need, they're like full sun, good quality compost, well-drained soil, and they will flower all summer long. I just think they are amazing. They are absolutely stunning. I've seen them on the nursery, and I would love everyone to order those today while we've got this brand new price reduction. 568.12. Then something that I'm buying, the big Acer. And the reason I'm going to go for this is because it's fast growing. Most Acers will only grow 10, 20 centimetres a year, but this one is really quite vigorous, and it will grow when fully grown. This can grow to round about 12 metres in terms of height. Wow, but very, very easy, of course, to prune. So if you don't want it that big, then very, very easy to prune as well. But I love the pinks, I love the creams, I love the greens as well. So that's going in my basket today. A fast-growing Acer, like most Acers, likes kind of part shade, sheltered, keep it away from winds, and a nice, decent quality compost or soil. 511481. Then we brought you a little touch, a big touch actually, of the Mediterranean, the Oleanders. So don't forget, these are hardy to -5. Again, they want full sunshine, they want well-drained soil. We use one of the top breeders, in fact, the top breeder we believe in the world, and these are absolutely outstanding quality. Multi-stemmed, the more stems means the more flowers, the more buds. Evergreen, of course, so really gorgeous in terms of the foliage, and they are prolific flowers. Every one of those stems will have multiple flowers and will flower, repeat flower all summer long. And that is a buy one get one free today, $29.99 or $26.99 if you are a discount club member. And don't forget, you do need to use that offer code to get your free gift today as well. And then we've got our Polymonium Stairway to Heaven. I know this is Jacob's Ladder. 3 of these in 9 centimetre pots. And again, these tolerate quite a bit of shade. They look lovely amongst the ferns and things that we had earlier, and it's a gorgeous coloured blue, isn't it, on that one? It's a really, really pretty blue, very delicate and very desirable. All 3 of those in 9 centimetre pots, fully established. They'll probably arrive with some buds and flowers on right now, £14.97. And don't forget also, we saw those beautiful brand new geraniums. When I say geraniums, these are the hardy geraniums, Catherine Dedell. Really pretty. I love the veining on the flowers. The leaf to foliage on this is marked as well, so you've got beautiful, beautiful foliage. Don't go too big. Fully winter hardy as well, so again you've got your lifetime guarantee on these, and they're really tolerant of a lot of conditions. They will tolerate poor soil, part shade, sun. They don't need a lot of fuss and care and attention, and they can also just keep a bit of their foliage during the winter. They do die down, but they will come back every single year. A great little, I think, a great gap filler. They'll just kind of blend in and merge in with other plants in your beds and borders. 561278. And then the hanging baskets are absolutely flying today. They've been really popular. Some of you have been buying 6 of these, I'm hearing. The value is incredible. We've done all of the hard work. So we've bought the basket, we've filled the basket, and we've really filled the basket with wonderful plants. And we've colour matched. We've made sure that all the plants grow at the same or a similar rate. So you've got verbenas, you've got calabricoa, you've got petunias in here. Absolutely stunning plants, and a little bit more unusual. A lot of the ready-made hanging baskets at the supermarkets I think are quite boring. They're very, very standard, but these are that a little bit more special. And so I've gone for 4 of these for our pub garden. I was like, this price, it would cost me at least that to actually make up the baskets. And although I think I'm quite good at making up hanging baskets, mine do not look as good as these. They are absolutely amazing. 450177 for £26.98 if you are a club member. If you're not, still £29.98. Then we also brought you that lovely agapanthus called Fireworks. It's bicolour. It's a little bit more compact. So it will only grow kind of 40-50 centimetres. Again, it needs a sunny spot. Nice well-drained soil, and we do class it as winter hardy, this one as well. And ours has got buds forming already, so yours may well have buds on when it arrives. We won't guarantee it, but it may well have buds on when it arrives because it is a big established plant in a 3-litre pot. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, chat-wise, now we didn't answer the question about the passion flower, so we better answer that right now. Where is it? Now, who was it? Here we go, Julie. So, Julie has said, "Hi Shaun and Adam, why do my passion flowers keep dying? I just can't keep one." Big question that.
This one, the Cerula one, is very, very hardy. A lot of the other types aren't so hardy. So this is the hardiest one you can grow in the UK. So if you're buying the white flowering one, for example, or some of the ones with the more kind of purpley pink flowers.
So the more pinky ones, they're a bit tender, aren't they?
They're not as hardy. I tried those myself. I got them to go for a couple of years, and then where I was in Swaffham, we had a -11 one night, and that finished them off. So, you know, first of all, you need to make sure you're growing this variety, the Cerulea, which is the hardiest one. You need to make sure you're growing them somewhere really well drained. They hate really heavy, wet soil, and somewhere warm and sheltered. So if you try all those things, 99% sure you're going to get them to keep coming back. I mean, if you can let us know, you know, if it was this type, let us know. But if it was one of the other types I've mentioned, especially the white ones or the pinky ones,
I tried a few of those as well, and I had the same problem.
Yeah.
But this one's
tough.
Yeah, and my mum's got this variety, and it survived some really choppy winters in York.
Yeah, well, again, when I lived in Bishop Stortford, we used to visit a garden there, and a gentleman had one at the front of his house, and it's been there for 15, 20 years. I mean, it just comes up year after year after year after year.
Neil's been on the chat. He's got a delivery. It's 13 stops away. It may be less now.
That's good.
Elaine's had to leave us. She's going to watch and catch up a little bit later. Don't forget you can stream all of the shows on YouTube or on our website a little bit later on.
That was Neil, 30. I'll tell you what would be great, Neil, if you can. If delivery comes away on air, it'd be great if you just took a picture.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Send in a pic of you opening the box and showing us what you got, because we'd love to see your pics.
And if you want to send any pictures in or any comments, you can, of course, just email us ygtv@yougarden.com as well. We love it when you send pictures in. We love it when you send emails. So, yeah, do that. And it's so lovely to be back with Adam today. This is Adam Woolcott, if you've never seen him before. But you've been on a lot lately, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Yeah, really enjoying it. Talking of pics, because Bex and I have been driven insane with jealousy lately because, did you grow Peruvian lilies?
No. Do you know what? I meant to order them.
None of us three, the viewing images that you sent of your
I've been the same. I'm like, why didn't I grow those?
It's like, why did we not? You know, you think the 3 people in the world who would definitely have grown Peruvian lilies would have been Shaun, Bex and myself. No.
We intended to. It's one. I have so many things I want to order every show.
And we have busy lives.
Yeah. I didn't buy the Acer yesterday. Now I'm going to order it today.
Yeah, no, you've got to go for the Acer, Shaun. That will do just what you want it to do in your garden.
The passion flower though, really, really busy. They sold out. We have literally got it back today. It's a really good size. Comes in a 90 centimetre cane. Should arrive with buds and flowers, and it's the hardest out of all the passion flowers. This one, if you've struggled before, this is the hardest.
I just realised I've got one. Is that like a passion flower on my shirt? Almost like a poppy.
It is. I would say it is.
Very similar, isn't it? Yeah, that would look good stuck to my shirt, wouldn't it?
It would.
Quite a nice embellishment.
I always feel so drab next to Adam. You know, he's always like got these wonderful shirts. I'm like, bit of navy and black.
No, you look fine. You look good. You look classic.
Classic. Or do you mean mature?
Classically mature.
Great, that'll do, Adam. Do you know one of the lovely things with gardening? I think as you get a little bit older, you do learn more and more, don't you? But we're always learning. So that passion flower, again, it's an absolute must-have. Just quickly, by the way, don't forget, if you just joined us, free gift with every order. Just use the code YGTV2224. 5 of these gorgeous skyscraper lilies called the Lily Robina. Fragrant, will grow to about 6 foot. In their 2nd and 3rd years, but even in their 1st year, you're talking maybe 3 to 4 foot, and multi-flowered.
And also, yeah, you say with every order, you're going to get those.
So if you already placed an order, and now you're placing another one, you'll get another free gift. And when these are mature, you can actually get 20, 25, even up to 30 flowers on one stem. So they are brilliant. And then we want you to save money on your postage, free P&P on all orders over £40. So do bear that in mind. But loads of you watching today. It's really, really great to have you coming in. Right, let's talk about standards, because we have got the Photinia Little Red Robin standard next. And in my garden, I've got so many Photinias, and I love them, Adam, because they look good all year round. They're evergreen, but to get a standard is really special. And the price on this, actually, for $29.99 is excellent, isn't it?
That's knockout, this one. This one it's got slightly smaller leaves.
I was going to say, because it's called the Little Red Robin,
and
it is a bit more compact, isn't it?
It's a little bit more compact. Yeah. It's got those slightly sort of smaller, more narrow, compact leaves, but it's got the same fabulous, fabulous attributes as its larger cousin. Evergreen foliage, or should we say ever red foliage, because the new foliage always comes through this fabulous, fabulous red colour. Then as the foliage matures, it goes down to green. They flower as well.
You get the white flowers, don't you?
Lovely kind of you know how you get the flower shapes on cow parsley, those kind of flat sort of umbel-like flowers. Same on these, sort of flat white flower heads on these that look absolutely stunning. And when you get those flower heads against that red and green foliage, they look really, really great. Evergreen. Tough as old boots, get through any winter, these. I've seen these grow in shade, I've seen them grow in full sun.
And my garden's quite exposed.
Good for windy positions.
Yes, they're great.
Again, I've seen them growing
coastal. Then I guess.
Coastal, these are so adaptable. I think that's why they're taking the world by storm. I mean, probably 20, 25 years ago, nobody really heard of Photinias, but in recent years, so many people have loved these because they just grow in so many different situations, so easy to grow, and just look good all the year through.
Although I adore gardening, and I've gardened all my life, sometimes it can be a labour of love if you've got too many plants that are too hard work. You know, if you've got too many things that you're constantly having to mollycoddle and water and prune and look after and feed.
It becomes a chore then, does it? Rather than a pleasure.
I think they say about 70% of your garden should be easy. So it's great to have a few difficult things and a few challenging things, but we all need those stable items that are just going to do their thing, look great with minimum effort, and this is one of them.
Yeah, definitely. And the great thing about a standard as well, Shaun, if you're in really restricted space, and I use this example a zillion times, if you're 3 floors up and just got a balcony in really restricted space, the good thing about about this being a stand is you can plant right up to the base of it. So say you had it in one of these pots, for example, which it would be happy in for a year or two, to be honest with you, quite happy in there before you transplanted it on. You've still got space to plant around the base. So you could put 2 or 3 of the asters, the winter flowering asters in the base there, or bedding plants, some of our lobelia. So, you know, you've got colour and interest up in the sky, occupying space up there, but also you can get lots more planting in right at the base.
Yeah, I think some white underneath that could look really good.
Nice.
Couldn't it? Some white begonias.
And these
like
as well, you can clip these. You can actually make these into topiary if you want to. So you could have this as a perfect ball shape if you wanted to. You can even make it a box shape if you wanted to. But you can also just leave it to become natural and more kind of just spread out and doing its own thing. It's up to you. The choice is yours.
I've got quite a few standard hollies in my garden, and I'll be honest, I know it's silly to say this, but I love it in the winter and at Christmas time, but for me in the summer, I'm just not as into it. I just
Makes sense.
It just looks a bit too wintry for me.
Yeah, I get
Whereas
that.
these they're all seasons. And you don't look at this and think, oh, it's a winter plant, it's a summer plant. And actually, as Adam was saying, if it's in a pot, you can dress the pot seasonally. So you can have summer bedding, spring bulbs, winter pansies, whatever, just around the base.
One of these
really
either side
good.
of a front door would look good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? You know, if you got because Beck's always saying she hates her front door because it's north facing and it's really boring and she hates it. But you know, one of these either side of a front door because they grow well in shade as well as full sun.
Yeah.
Just add that extra bit of interest.
So if you do want to go for those, you can get them today, $29.99, $26.99 for club members as well. You definitely want to go for a pair, and if you do go for a pair, you will get free delivery, of course, as well. Right, the absolute steal today, Osteospermums. You may have seen these in your emails. We wanted to give you a brilliant offer on the live show today, and we've done it. 3 of these in 9 centimetre pots. We've just potted them up, as you can see here, for £4.47 if you're a club member. So that's working out under £1.50 each.
That's insane.
Yeah, and look at how.
Hey,
look at those.
Whoa. That's a root. We've got a new thing now from a viewer suggested, Rooty Beauty. We're calling him Rooty Beauty.
That is a Rooty Beauty.
That's a Rooty Beauty. Yeah. I can't remember, it's one of our lovely viewers come up with the suggestion. I can't
Love
remember.
it, but that is such a well-established plant. And I don't mind telling you, I grew mine from plug plants, and they've done really well, because they're from YouGarden, but nothing like that kind of root system.
And that
not yet, not yet.
Straight out now, Shaun, as well. You don't need to hesitate now. There's no worry about frost or anything now. What's
Cool.
happened there? We've got something about
I don't know, Brian's iPhone, no, we're not going to give you
required to
permission.
connect your device to this TV.
Yeah, who's Brian? We don't know. I'm going to fight. Brian, are you out there? Brian, you there? No, you can't connect.
No. He's trying.
I wonder who Brian is.
I don't know. Who knows?
I
he's
don't
gone.
know. It's gone.
He's gone.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah.
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 But
Brian was outside with his phone by the looks of things, yeah. Cheers, mate. Anyway, back to our Osteospermum. So first of all, the most stunning flowers.
Yeah.
And it's the colour palette for me, Adam, that kind of like orange, purple, burgundy.
I was lucky enough many years ago to go on holiday to Malaysia. And we used to have the most mind-blowing sunsets in Malaysia across the bay in the evening. And they were these sorts of colours. They were those deep oranges. They were kind of those vermilions, those kind of pinks, the purples, the really incredible colours that just streak out. And that's what these remind me of. These look like sunsets or sunrises. Or also, again, Bex and I was saying, you know, when you have a barbecue sometimes and you just stoke those, you know, the little charcoal, and when it's just getting dark and you see those colours of the embers come through. You see the reds and the oranges and the yellows and the purples. They've got those sort of colours. But we noticed as well the other day on some of the plants, the flowers, they sort of change colour as they mature as well. So,
yeah, I've noticed that, Adam.
I mean, down here, if I just turn this one round a little bit, this one at the front, this one's got sort of more yellow tinges to the edge of the petals. As, you know, that looks like quite a young flower, but then as they mature, they get more orangey. So, you know, you can see that's exactly the same variety of plant. You can see how the flower colour just changes. In fact, what I'll do, I'll bring his little cousin up next to him. I mean, look at that, same variety, but look at that. One's an orangey colour, one's slightly different. So when the flowers first start out, they're almost deep orangey colour. And as they mature, you get that extra colour palette, and as this flower starts to get to be really mature, you get that yellow on the edge as well. So it's definitely all the sunset and sunrise colours there. Mumps and mumps and mumps of flower from these. These are flowering their socks off now. I mean, look at the buds, Shaun. They're smuggling buds.
And award-winning as well. So if you want to go for them, the value today is incredible. We both cannot recommend these highly enough. And I do think they look great en masse. They really do, don't they?
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to go to our nursery again. Sorry, Adam, go on.
No, go on. No, yeah, because I want to see the picture of you with them, Shaun. That's brilliant.
So have a look at these on our nursery yesterday. Well, the sun's shining, so I thought I'd come out on the YouGarden nursery and look what caught my eye. These are the Osteospermum purple sun. I mean, they are absolutely incredible. And when you think about how bad the weather's been, we've had a lot of rain the past few days. These have stood up beautifully. Now the sun's out, they are just glorious. And what I've noticed, so many bees, so many butterflies, just having an absolute party on these amazing flowers. I've actually got these growing in my garden this year. And in my opinion, they do just look great en masse. So you get 6 of these, don't forget. So maybe 3 in a decent sized pot, obviously 2 pots, and they're going to give you this absolutely outstanding show all summer long. I love the combination of the purples, the oranges, a little bit of yellow in there as well. Very easy to grow. They're just like full sun. They will tolerate a little bit of drought, and they will flower all summer long. And you may even choose to overwinter these and protect them from the frost and then grow them again next year. So, so you get 6. How many would you like? 600? Because they're all here right now at the YouGarden nursery. Oh, it was amazing to see those Osteospermum. Honestly, they just stood out so much in the nursery. There's 11 acres of plants right now, but they just absolutely pop, and loads of you going for those today. What is interesting, a lot of you are putting those in your basket, but you are adding other items to get your order to over £40. Then you do get the free delivery. That is very important. So do bear that in mind. If you want to save on your postage, get your order to over £40, get some compost, get those amazing pots, and then you will get free delivery as well. And lots of you going for those hanging baskets just floating above Adam. Right, going to move on to Raspberry Sundae.
Look at that.
The Deutzia is coming up next. It is. I mean, I was looking at this before we went live, and the flowers are so impressive and so beautiful, aren't they?
This is great as well because
always gorgeous.
It's a nice compact Deutzia, this one. I've seen this grown in people's gardens, and it probably gets to about waist height eventually. So you know, perhaps slightly higher. But and again, it forms a nice sort of dome shape as well, which is great. It's not an unruly kind of scruffy, untidy shrub.
Look at this.
But yeah, I mean those huge, great big, I don't know, sort of bunches of flowers there, and it's great, Shaun, because it's flowering its socks off now. But look here, look. There's even
I can see loads more buds coming.
Even more buds coming. There's buds there behind the actual label. There's another head of flower buds coming there as well. So this isn't like a 5-minute wonder. This is going to keep flowering over a good sort of long period of time. Oh, little fly there as well. Go away, Mr. Fly. Go on, off you go. Little blue bottle. But you can see the new growth coming here as well. This new growth, by the way, this will be your flowering growth for next year. This flowers on the previous year's wood.
So that is. Yeah. Do bear that in mind when it comes to pruning. When it comes to pruning. So if you chop all this off now, you're going to chop off your flowering wood for next year. So this is next year's flowering wood on the top there. Lovely, healthy, dark green foliage there. And you can already see the way that plant grows in that nice sort of dome shape. Even the new growth is coming out sort of nice and even. But yeah, these wonderful flowers are sort of white, but then the lovely purple towards the end, the lovely yellow stamens in the middle. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, because we're always dead honest. It does say on our literature that these are fragrant. Yeah, and I couldn't really. I couldn't smell it either, but I've got rubbish sense of smell. If you get your nose you right, can smell, right. Yeah, there's something there, isn't there? There is something there, yeah. But you know, I'm not going to overplay it because you know, when we talk of fragrance, we're not talking lily of the valley or jasmine or something. It's got a very soft, subtle fragrance. But one thing that's not subtle and soft is the beauty of those flowers. They're exquisite. Loved by pollinators. This is a great one for pollinators, bees and butterflies and lacewings and so on. An easy shrub.
bone hardy, will grow in full sun, dappled shade, great for pots and containers, great for really small gardens.
It's an absolute winner, isn't it?
It is. It's just simply brilliant, this shrub. You plant it, you let it grow, you enjoy it. It will come back year after year. You can clip it and shape it eventually if you want to, but it's just a very beautiful, beguiling kind of shrub that's not a thug. It's not going to take over. You're not going to have to be hacking it down 2 or 3 years' time because it's taking over. Yeah, beautiful. Try it, you'll love it.
Oh, and what a price. Bear in mind, it's already really quite well established. Covered, as you can see there, in flowers, and it's only $12.99 or $11.69. Now, we're now going to move on to something very different, actually. These are our hardy gerberas, and the colours that you get here are so vibrant and bright, but I always think gerberas look such a neat flower. They're kind of quite immaculate, aren't they?
That perfect daisy flower,
yeah.
Aren't they? Just like the Osteospermums, really. They've got that sort of classic sort of daisy-like look to them. And when these first came out, it came as a bit of a shock to me, really, because I've always thought of gerberas as being frost, sort of frost tender plants and not hardy at all. And of course, loads of cut flower arrangements have these in. These ones are hardy to -8, so these really are hardy gerberas. You can get in the range of up to approximately 50 flowers per plant on these, and really, really big flower heads on these as well, probably the width of a teacup, some of the flowers on these. And we're going to send you out these absolutely, I'm going to move my little picture card because I want to move in and show you something. These fabulous plug plants. First of all, I'm going to...
You're going to do,
Yeah, look. Gorgeous root system on those. These are darker roots. They don't show up on the camera so well, but you can see, and you've got that fabulous root system there. Super healthy foliage, but something I've seen in the middle of this one. What I'm going to do is...
I've found a flower.
Look.
Yeah, there you go.
Look, just there, look. Already the first...
Do you know, I have found with mine, the flowers do last a fair amount of time as well.
Yeah, I mean, probably lasts a week, a couple of weeks, these flowers. Look, lovely little flower stem.
And they do
there.
repeat flower all summer long.
These flower their socks off. My mum had these a couple of years ago. In some troughs on her windowsill in the back garden, and they were brilliant, Shaun. They just flowered all summer long, and they look so happy and joyful and colourful.
Now, just quickly, Adam, we have got some very colourful pots that go with these.
That'd be good.
These are called the Bellaggios. You actually get 4, so you get a pink, you get a red, you get an orange, and you get a yellow.
Great for kids. Children.
Hey, look at these. So
That's
these,
fun.
they were Bex's last year. I did exactly the same. I don't think I did quite the same colours. I think I put the yellow with the pink, and I think I put the... Oh, I can't remember now. I think because I got the red one as well.
You didn't match.
I didn't. But you can do if you want to. But if you do want to go for the pots, they are also on offer today, and they're really bright. They're vibrant. And I always think that coloured pots, particularly in the winter time as well, can just add an extra dimension to your garden as well. So those are also on special, and they were $4.99 each. And today you can get all 4. Is it, just checking the price, Stu, is it 4 for $9.99, I want to say? It might be less. No, it's $7.99, £2 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, phenomenal value there. And you've got frost resistance, you've got UV stability on those. These are not bad plastic. These are not throwaway pots. These are pots that are going to last you a long, long time, and great for getting children involved because.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and things like gerberas are brilliant as well because they've got that classic daisy type flower. They're easy to grow. They'll flower an awful lot. And if you're a kid and you're just getting into gardening, when you get a result. That's what gets you hooked in, doesn't it?
Yeah. We'll really be staying. Just quickly, can we just recap? Because I've just got the group chat and a few questions. Oh, Karen got her Deutzia last week. She said it's so nice and dainty. She's going to put it in a pot at the weekend. And she said there's not a strong smell, but they are lovely. So thank you, Karen. Linda wants to know how tall the Photinia will grow, the red robin. So the stem is already set in stone, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, that stem will get slightly taller in time and slightly thicker. But I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you can let it grow. I mean, that might grow 2 or 3 foot tall on the top. You can let it get into quite a large sort of ball shape if you want, but easily clip it any time of year you want to clip it.
So you could actually keep it that size if you want.
Keep it that size, just clip it back. And this time of year, if you keep clipping it back this time of year, the new growth that comes is always the most fiery red. So, yeah, the option's yours. Let it grow or clip it, but it will get to about 2 or 3 foot if you leave it.
Neil's order has arrived already as well.
Oh,
Good news, Neil.
Can we have a pic? If you can send a pic, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Can we be nosy, see what you've ordered?
We love that.
Love to see.
Neil's one of our real regulars and we really appreciate it, we really do. Right, so if you want the Gerbera, winter hardy to -8, gorgeous flowers all summer long and for every summer for many, many years, don't forget. Totally hardy, and do go for those pots as well, they work brilliantly. If you want to email, don't forget you can email us ygtv@yougarden.com as well.
The only one thing to say about the Gerbera before we move on is do not let them sit in really heavy, wet soil in the winter. That they won't like. So
there's a lot of plants that really don't like that.
No. And again, that's something we've got to get used to, the way things are. With these wetter winters now, we have to get a bit more clued up about what sort of things we'll tolerate sitting in wet soils and which
buying lots of irises and gunneras.
yeah, gunneras, definitely.
Yeah.
Although they've banned gunner now, you can't grow gunner in the UK now.
I've forgotten, you're right.
Yeah, that's been removed now because it's been listed as an invasive plant. So yeah, you can't sell gunneras anymore. But never mind.
Sad because I really like those.
I get it. There's a giant rhubarb.
I was going to say
palmatum. That's a little bit similar. You can
looks
still
like
grow
it,
that.
yeah,
you could do that one.
Right, we better move on there to something a bit more dainty, and it's our Salvia Embers Wish. I think these are absolutely beautiful. I love the colour of the stems, I love the foliage. The red flowers on these are absolutely gorgeous. And we're classing this one, Adam, as kind of a tender perennial.
A tender perennial, yeah. So by tender perennial, we mean it might need a bit of winter protection to get through the sort of coldest of winters. But those lovely, lovely flowers on the top there are just almost a bit tropical looking to me, really kind of different and unusual. That sort of fiery red colour, almost like the geraniums we were bringing you the other day. And these almost a little bit nostalgic for me. They're not exactly the same, but do you remember back in the 70s, Shaun, when there was that kind of garden style where we grew things in straight lines, and you had your red salvias, you had your blue lobelia, and you had your white Acer.
Yeah, I remember.
Kind of grown in straight lines in the borders. They remind me a little bit of those salvias from back then. But these are taller, these are bushier, these are going to flower for month after month after month, give you colour all the way through. And you could, if you wanted to, I'm not going to do it on these particular ones, but if you wanted to, you see when you look at this stem here, you've got a couple of side shoots in the axils of the leaves here. You've got a couple of side shoots there. You could, if you want to be brutal, you could just pinch that top out, cut that top out, and then these side shoots will branch out and you'll get much more of a bushy plant. You'll end up with flowers like you can see on the screen there. Rather than just a flower on the end of the stem, you'll have loads of stems with flowers on each stem. So, much more I knew I couldn't say that word every time. Floriferous plant. Than if you just leave it to go straight up. But if you've got that sort of a warm spot, a sunny spot, a sheltered spot, or you want to grow these in pots and you want that lovely, fiery, blood red coloured flower all the way through the summer up to the autumn, grow these. These are beautiful.
Yeah. I love those. 561283 for the Salvia Embers Wish Day. It's a double up deal, so put 2 in your basket and you'll get them for £14.98. Club discount price is £13.48. Right, very important. Loads of you today have been going for ready-made hanging baskets. Now, I'm being really honest, I have to make up hanging baskets for my mum's garden. So I'm counting 4, 5, 6. So my mum has 8 hanging baskets. The pub garden, if I do them properly, has a dozen hanging baskets at least. Sometimes I do a few more actually. And then I've got my own garden as well. So and then I've made up some hanging baskets for my garden club that I run. So I'll be honest, I've got a bit sick of making hanging baskets because I've made about 30 recently.
I'm fiddling here, sure. I'm fiddling.
No, it's fine, you're unwrapping.
I'm fed up with this white bit of stuff in it. It's annoying me.
What we've got right now, well done. The most stunning, ready-made, pre-planted hanging baskets at the most incredible price. So many of you have been ordering these today. Somebody just ordered 6. The price, and I know most of you are club members, £13.50 a basket. If you're not a club member, just under £15 a basket. And Adam, when you look at, first of all, the size of the basket, and it's a proper rattan basket, 14 inches, And then you look at the amount of plants that have gone in here.
It's substantial, and the mixture. You've got petunias with the large flowers. We've got their cousins, the calibrico with the smaller flowers. We've got verbena in between, and the selection here has been selected in such a way that one isn't going to outpace the others. These are all going to mix and match. These are all going to live happily together throughout the summer, and we've chosen plants that just flower their socks off for month after month after month. You don't even need to worry about deadheading these. All you've got to do is water them, feed them fortnightly with a liquid feed. Our blooming fast is great, but if you've got tomato feed or liquid seaweed feed, you can do that. And Shaun, until the frosts, these are going to look fabulous.
They really are. Now, Steve just sent in a picture of his hanging basket that he's done himself, and it's pretty good, actually. Well done, Steve. So actually, Steve, you've done really well.
Look, I mean,
that's actually amazing.
Is that this year? That's this year. I mean, if that's that good already, and we're not even at the end of May yet, that's phenomenal.
Steve, that is a really good hanging basket.
I mean,
come and do mine.
Because everybody always talks about having that 360-degree ball of colour, don't they? Well, he's nailed it there, isn't it? I mean, that's just that you couldn't get more perfect, could you, than that?
And Lawrence has message saying, "Good morning, Shaun and Adam. My compost delivery has just arrived. Good news there. And its purpose is to fill 2 planters under the garden lamppost. I'll share those in a second. They are between other bigger pots planted with shrubs, and I was after recommendations as to what to plant there. Would love to add a burst of colour through the summer months." Right, let's have a little look. Oh, so he wants a few things to go under the lamppost. That's a really nice border, though, isn't it? I think all the shrubs look really good.
I like them. There's a dogwood there, isn't there? And
so he wants something to go into the dark fencing.
Oh, I tell you what would look good. The Potentilla, the red Potentilla we've got, that would look really good with its fiery red colours.
Yeah, it would actually, wouldn't it?
Fence. Yeah, the little 9cm Potentillas. That would be a good contrast. Or the standard Photinia, the little what we call it, baby, not baby. What's the word I'm thinking of? Little red robin. That's it. That would look good.
Yeah, although I'm just thinking, so you plant around the base of the lampposts.
Oh, in that pot there?
Yeah, so I'm thinking the Osteospermum.
Yes, they would look good in that. I'm just scanning along as well. Oh, Gerberas. Gerberas look good.
If you want some colour, the Gerberas would look really nice. The Osteospermums would look amazing.
Or Agapanthus. If you ordered three of the Agapanthus, the fireworks Agapanthus, 3 of those around the base there, they would look stunning because they love being in pots. They love being pot bound, and also the flower spikes will probably get 18 inches, 24 inches tall, and against that black fence,
look amazing, wouldn't they? By the way, masses of you today have been going for our Osteospermum Purple Sun. So we've basically changed the price, got a new deal for today to match any of the emails that have been going out. £4.97 for all 3 of these, and you saw the roots earlier. They are just absolutely fabulous. So really well grown. And these are, this is an award-winning variety. The flowers are amazing. I've seen these on the nursery. I was there yesterday checking these out. I've got them grown in my garden as well. I've got mine all in white pots. And they just look stunning already. They really do.
They seem to emanate their own light source, don't they?
Yes.
It's almost like each plant is sending out light. They're so bright. They're so cheery. I mean, the amount of grey weather we've had recently, you look into these and suddenly you just see such joyful, bright, cheery colours.
Well, they are flying. And obviously, we've got a lot of these on the nursery, but loads of you have ordered these today. Lots of you will have got the email as well, and if you're just ordering these today, you'll still get your free gift of those fantastic lily bulbs as well. But lots of you are getting your orders to over £40 as well and getting your free delivery as well. But one thing that we always love to do is share a little clip of film with you featuring our head gardener Peter McDermott, because he's in charge of the nursery. He's our head gardener, decades of experience, and his favourite product that we sell is our premium professional compost. It's the highest rated. It's what all of our plants are grown in, things like the ready-made hanging baskets, and it will transform you into a better gardener overnight. So here's Peter to tell you more.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there's slow-release fertiliser. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow-release fertiliser. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertiliser. You can see that there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic. And plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in. But most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's, what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in. So they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon the literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough. Yeah.
That was our wonderful head gardener, Peter McDermott, and our premium professional compost. And again, if you're trying to get your order to over £40, maybe buying the Osteospermums, remember £4.97 for 3 of those, just add some compost to your basket. You're always going to use your compost, aren't you? Of course you are.
I always like to have a few bags kind of stored up.
Yes,
although me and my other half, my husband has the front garden, I have the back garden.
Sure. And they're completely different gardens.
And I do try and keep a store of compost in my greenhouse, but occasionally somebody wants compost for their front garden.
Not allowed.
They don't tell the back garden gardener that his compost has been used.
It all sounds very separate, Adam. But you've got very different taste in gardens, haven't you?
Yeah, and the different aspect as well. But the moral of the story is just have some of this stored up, because
absolutely,
it's really annoying when you go to your greenhouse to get some compost and you have half used it all.
Yeah. So get some now. If you want the Osteospermums, 560812. The compost, of course, is 2 50-litre bags for £24.97. Right, we're going to move on to a really great plant now. So Adam knows, because Adam saw our house as it was being built, and the garden was just a building plot. And Adam was brilliant at him and John helping design the garden, giving us loads of great ideas. But I was a bit impatient, and I just thought, I just want, because we're just that barren areas everywhere. So I wanted a few things that would grow quickly. And the trouble is, you can buy established plants, but they cost a fortune. So I put a couple of Sambucus in, and honestly, Adam, in 3 years, they are now several metres high.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to, I'm sure in the first year even, or definitely the second year, they seem to grow like a metre and a half in a year.
Well, if you think elderberry are an indigenous shrub in the UK, in fact, I saw a chap picking the flower heads this morning on the way here and putting them in bags, and obviously he's going to make either cordy or elderberry champagne or something. But yeah, elderberries grow naturally in the UK. They're one of our indigenous wild shrubs, so they're suited to the UK climate. And although these are hybridised types, again, they just love the sort of climate we've got because it's never too hot, never too dry, never extreme. These are happy, cheerful plants. This one, I mean, look at that
beautiful colours.
That wonderful dissected foliage there, and that sort of yellowy golden foliage as well. And funny enough, that's sort of a yellow golden colour. But if I just bend that over at the top, you can see the very new foliage has some little bronzy colours on there as well. Look, so there's so much colour in the foliage. These flower as well, so they have flat heads, like umbel type flat heads of flower, and they can have lovely clusters of red berries as well in the autumn.
What I can honestly say is they fill a gap so easily and so quickly.
That's
they
glorious.
look beautiful. They are deciduous, so they lose the leaves, of course, in winter time. But for anyone that's got a big gap in their garden that wants filling, or a new garden, this is a perfect choice. And I've got mine, Adam, amongst things like my Acers, and they seem to work really well there. Yeah,
great for contrasting, because you were saying you've got the Sambucus nigra.
Yes, the dark,
chocolatey colour. The dark one. Well, you could plant, one against the other. Imagine the contrast between the dark foliage one and this one. And that, could you see that picture again, Stu? You just put up a moment ago of this, because look at that. I mean, even that's a sunny day there, but even if it's not a sunny day, when you see like a stand of foliage like this, it looks like the sun's shining on it, because it's got that super bright, limey, sort of greeny yellow foliage. It's really uplifting, really cheerful, and those super interesting dissected, etched, notched kind of leaves there that look fabulous as well. This shrub is very easy to grow. It's not particularly fussed about soils. It will do well in full sun, dappled shade. It will grow most places. It's bone hardy. It will come up year after year after year. And if it gets too big, you can trim it right back in the spring, like you would a buddleia or a rose, for example, and it will just grow back from where you've pruned it.
And I do find them very easy to prune. The stems never seem to be too woody.
Very soft to cut, aren't they?
They really are.
They're kind of hollow, the stems. They're almost like a corky kind of centre to them.
So it's not, some things are really difficult to prune back, and you dread doing it. It's not at all. So the stems are relatively soft, so very easy to prune. And so fast growing, but not invasive.
No, not invasive. It'll form a nice sort of thick trunk at the base eventually. But as I say, you can trim it down if you want to. A bit same as the the Acer we've got. I mean, that sort of they grow very similar in similar ways. They're both quite fast growing, and on both of these shrubs, you can clip them back any time pretty much you want to reduce the height or the size.
I'm just thinking, anyone that's got an area in their garden with a bare fence and it all looks a bit ugly, just grow one of these in front of it. It will fill that gap in no time whatsoever. It's going to be easy to manage. And the foliage on this particular variety, the Sutherland Gold, is absolutely beautiful. It glows, doesn't it?
It does glow, sure. In the garden sometimes you've got a right-angled corner where two lots of fences meet, and you've got that sort of big corner area. That's great for someone like that, because you can just plant this in that corner. It'll fill that whole corner, and also it will deceive the eye into thinking the garden's bigger than what it is, because you won't see that boundary anymore.
Well, don't forget, if you want to be part of the show, you can join us in our group chat on YouTube, Facebook. You can email the studio, ygtv@yougarden.com. We're with you till about 1 o'clock today, so it's still lots of time. And any questions, if you're thinking, I'd like to buy the Sambucus Gold, but I'm not sure about this or this, we are here to answer your queries. Alison wants to know, honeyberry leaves are turning brown. Does she need to do anything? I'm just going to say, I reckon do you think it's because it's been too wet? Because mine have been a little bit brown.
Some of the lower leaves will turn brown and drop off.
And that's kind of natural,
isn't it? That's kind of natural, because it's quite a congested shrub, and it's very multi-stemmed. So when all the leaves finally mature, some of the leaves in the middle lack light a little bit, so the plant will naturally shed some of the lower leaves. So I wouldn't panic about too much about that. And also, one other thing that can happen at the moment, when we've had lots of really damp grey weather like we've had, and then suddenly we get these really super bright days. The foliage can get a bit scorched.
Yeah, that happened. That's happened with my Salix.
Yeah, all of a sudden we get that full-on sun, and the plant's not used to it.
Yeah.
But don't worry, those leaves will fall off, more leaves will come, and it'll be absolutely fine. And remember, it's got our lifetime snowflake guarantee on it there, so you'll be fine.
But it's slightly challenging times in the garden, but plants are survivors, aren't they? Right, just really quickly, the Osteospermums. Wow, we've had a really busy show, even busier than yesterday actually. But I'm not surprised with this offer because $4.97 for 3 of these. You can buy 6 for $16.97. Don't. Just buy 2 lots of these if you want 6. You might even want to go for 9, 12, but they are absolutely flying. £4.97. And this is the size you'll get, so don't think you're getting plug plants. You're getting well-grown plants, really well-grown plants in 9cm pots, saving £25 today.
So if you got yourself 10 of these pots, and then, I know you can't get 10 of these, but if you've got 10 of these pots and then 9 of these, I don't suppose you could work out how much you'd save with that, could you, straight off the top of your head? But we can do
You'll work it out. Because actually, in reality, you would only need one of those in probably the centre of the pot with a few trailing things on the side.
Yeah, you probably would. Yeah.
I just went for, boom, wow. I just wanted to fill it straight away. But those Osteospermums will get to about 25, 30 centimetres.
Yeah, they do fill out, don't they? So
if we were going to go for... I think 10 pots, so buy 5 and get 5 free.
Yeah.
And then 9 Osteospermums, so we'd have 9 pots basically with an Osteospermum in each. Let's work out what that would cost today. And you have a spare as well. So there we go. We've popped in 5 of those. You've got to use the code, of course. So there's the 5 free. So they're working out $2.50 each. And then we've gone for 9 Osteospermums. $14.91. So you're saving, Adam. There you go. Ding, ding, ding. $127.95. Now, the most annoying thing about that order, Adam, we're 14p away from free delivery. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy another 3 Osteospermum because they'll go somewhere. And there you go. Now it's cheaper. And we're now saving £152.94 with no postage.
That's crazy.
So bear in mind that you are going to get 10 of the pots there, 12 of the Osteospermum Purple Sun African Daisies, 5 free lily bulbs, and an offer that you can redeem in the future on your wine. All of that for £44.83. Absolutely amazing. But really busy for the Osteospermum. Right, we've still got loads to show you today, but the green pots, massively going for these. First of all, Adam, they're really attractive pots, really good size, 12 inches in diameter, so 30 centimetres. But we're talking about how wet it's been. Drainage is so important, and you've got really good drainage on those.
Yeah, great drainage holes in those as well. And you've got that reinforced rim around the top there as well, which is really, really important because you're not going to pick that up and it's going to sort of flip backwards on you or snap or chip.
They're actually really sturdy, aren't they?
Yeah, and these, I mean, I know we're not meant to have favourites, but of all the pots we've brought to you so far this year, these are my favourite. I love that embossed. That kind of embossed kind of look. I like the lattice design with the little leaves in between. Yeah, the detail on these is phenomenal, and you could easily, imagine these are stone pots. You just can't see any seams, you can't see any joins, you can't see bits of papery plastic from the blow mould or anything like that. These look quality, high-end pots.
And Adam, don't you think that they would lend themselves to all types of garden? Because my mum's got a country cottage garden. I think they'd work there, but I could equally see these in a very modern urban garden.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with a single plant in each. I mean, for instance, you could imagine a little standard bay tree in that, couldn't you, for example, with some stones around. Well, look at the one we've just done here, Shaun. I mean, a few moments ago, we just planted up the one here with the 3 Osteospermum, some of our trailer-away lobelia, and that looks amazing straight away. We've popped the little Acer in the front here as well. That looks incredible sitting in there.
It wouldn't want to stay there too long, would it?
No, but I mean, you could enjoy that in there for one season. If you wanted to grow it on a bit more and get it even more established, you could definitely have that in there for this year. And then, in the winter time or next spring, transplant it into the garden. But yeah, these pots are great because they're not really huge pots that are going to be difficult to manoeuvre and carry around and be too heavy. They're not too small that you can't get most things in. They're just that perfect kind of intermediate
30
size.
centimetres. Yeah. But we are not bringing them back. That is very important. So if you want the Prisma planters, they are what we call rundown, close out. When they're gone, they're gone. Call it what you want, but they are not coming back. So do bear that in mind. And the more you buy, the more you save.
And am I allowed to say this? Because I heard a figure of how much percentage of the stock's left, and it's...
Go on, yeah.
Was it 20%, I think we were down to, weren't we, at one point on these? So.
Probably less, actually,
last weekend we had a phenomenal, crazy amount of these.
Yeah.
And, to be down to 20% already is insane.
Tell your friends and family as well. You know, if you've got friends and family that are into gardening, I tell everyone about this show, I really do, because you get some amazing deals. So $6.29 if you're a club member. If you do want to join the club, by the way, you can join today. It will cost you £5 for the year on auto renewal. You can cancel at the end of 12 months should you wish, and that will give you a 10% discount on the compost, the pots, all of the plants, the hanging baskets. So these are the benefits of joining the club today. 10% off every plant and accessory order, 5% off every outdoor living and gifts order. You're going to get £20 worth of vouchers that you can use throughout the year, and exclusive offers, competitions and expert advice as well. Two options, £5, that's on an auto renewal, or you can go for the 1 year one-off membership for £10, but you might as well go for the green one because it's cheaper, and you can cancel at the end of the 12 months should you wish. Right, super busy today. Great to be back with Adam in our potting shed.
Good to be with you, Shaun, as well.
Great, we've known each other years, haven't we?
You were the very, very first person I ever did my first shopping telly show with.
Oh.
Yeah, and I even remember some of the things we actually sold something called Prima cane raspberries. I remember selling them.
Oh, you've got good memory.
I do. I remember that just stays in my head.
How many years ago was that, Adam?
Oh goodness, it must have been at least 15, 16 years ago. Yeah, a long time ago. It was brilliant. Yeah.
It was great. Well, I mean, God, Adam is so knowledgeable. It's an absolute pleasure to be with him. Garden all his life, haven't you? It's your career.
Yeah, I've been gardening since I was 5. Yeah, so pretty much 55 years, really, pretty much.
And I always learn things with Adam. Don't get me wrong, I'm a very passionate gardener. I've got a lot of knowledge, but Adam's is just vast. It's huge. I think you give our head gardener a run for his money. You know?
Although compared to that chap who did the talk for you, you mentioned earlier,
Nick Bailey.
Nick Bailey. Oh, goodness me, that guy's knowledge it's up there.
Do you know what, Adam? Don't you think we're all always learning, and that's what gardening's about? It's a continuous journey, and it's wonderful.
It's an endless topic. You could live to be 1,000 years old, and you would not know everything there is to know about gardening and plants.
Never ever. So, so we're all always learning. The thing I know most about, funny enough, is bedding plants, because I've always. My mum's always done loads of pots of bedding plants, and I've grown pretty much everyone from seed at some point and nurtured them. And I've, had a garden that was full of hundreds of pots. My previous garden, I've always done the pub garden in our village. Probably my weakest subject, I'd say, is vegetables, because I've never had enough room to grow lots of them.
Yeah, I'd probably say that's well. I've grown some vegetables, but I'm not like a Monty Dong kind of huge vegetable garden kind. And
I've grown all the basics, all the common ones, but
and vegetables don't really float my boat to grow. I mean, I would if I had a really massive space, but I love plants. I love growing flowers and unusual plants, and that's what I really. We're all different, aren't we?
So I love growing my veg, but I haven't grown a huge amount in my lifetime. I've never had the space. Have got the space now, so I'm growing a bit more. Right, can we go back to the asters though? Been really popular. We were saying earlier, asters are brilliant at filling that gap between late summer and autumn. When lots of things are dying down, your lupins are probably finished, your delphiniums, lots of your perennials are just dying back, and your summer bedding might be looking a little bit jaded. And then suddenly, as autumn approaches, asters burst into life.
Yeah, they do, and it's these are what's called short day plants, and it's something referred to as photoperiodicity, and it basically what it means is
about learning things.
Yeah,
what is it again?
Photoperiodicity. So
photoperiodicity.
I think they call it phototropism now as well. There's a couple of different names for it, but what it means is certain plants are triggered into flowering by different day lengths. So most plants will kind of want to flower about this time of year when the days are really, really long. But plants like asters and chrysanthemums, they're the opposite. Yeah. They're triggered into flowering by shortening days and lower light levels, which is great because just at that time of year when things are slowing down and it's getting darker, that's when we all need a bit of a lift, don't we? That's when we all need a bit of a boost, and we don't want to be thinking about winter. We want to be thinking about continuous colour. That's what these beauties do. I've grown these in my garden, and right at the end of the season, you just get this explosion of blossom on these domed, compact, and I found mildew-resistant plants. And look at the colours. And again, you can see probably why they're flowering that time of year, because in lower light levels and sort of darker days, those purples and those sort of pinks, those colours pop a lot more than other colours would. So these plants are probably discovered historically. If I, flower this time of year, when other flowers aren't flowering so much, I'm going to be able to get all the pollinators because I'm not competing so much. That could be why they flower like they do. But look at those. I mean,
amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful colours.
Stunning.
Easy to grow. These are
you
bone
can barely
hardy.
see the foliage, can you?
No,
you can barely see it.
Absolutely smart. I've got some of these in my garden. If we talk about this later in the year, when mine flower, and I'll take some pictures. I've got two of these. John, my other half, he's planted some in the front garden. We've got like a raised wooden planter in the front garden with a little standard Scots pine in the middle, and then John's underplanted these underneath, and every year they form these lovely kind of domes of blossom for weeks on end, and all the bees, the butterflies, the late sort of season pollinating insects, they adore these. They're getting that hit of nectar late in the season. They're storing up energy and creating their honey reserves to get them through the winter. So you can see that they look fabulous in pots. They're great in beds and borders. Bone hardy, they'll come up for many, many years, and gradually they kind of spread out and make a sort of a larger clump. And you can eventually lift and divide these as well and make extra clumps if you want to. And all you've got to do after they've flowered, just leave them. Don't, once they finish flowering, just leave them till the spring. Leave the dead flower stems on through the winter. And then in the spring, just as you see the new leaves starting to emerge, cut off the dead flower stems, and they'll do it all over again. And look at the quality of these again.
And gardening is all about planning. So this is getting your autumn garden planned right now. You get 3 colours, 2 of each, $9.99, amazing value, but selling really, really quickly today as well. 480451. Then we've got the Sempervivum, the Chick Charms, Giants, Goldmine. This is absolutely beautiful, and we were saying this will survive in the driest of conditions. Pretty much gravel would be okay for this, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I've seen these. These are probably the most crazy drought-tolerant plant ever, and it's because they're a succulent plant, and they store loads and loads of moisture in these really kind of luscious, thick kind of leaves. You've got that wonderful colour in there. These flower as well. They send up little flower stems, which then arch over. And so what happens is sometimes, and don't let this put you off, once they flower, that actual part that flowers then dies. But
you get loads of babies.
They create loads of babies at the side, so they keep rebirthing themselves. They keep recreating. Like, is it progeny? Progeny.
That sounds good.
Yes. Progeny, yeah.
And don't forget
new ones, babies.
The little babies at the side, you can literally just...
where'd it go?
Behind you. It's behind you, there you go.
There we go, it's on the shelf.
So literally you can just take those off, shove it in a pot of compost. You don't even really need rooting powder, and that will take so easily, won't it?
Yeah, well, the little one fell off earlier on. We just popped it into that bit of compost. We give it a little bit of a drink. That's all it needs. It doesn't need any more moisture. Within a couple of weeks, that'll root away. It'll start growing. You've got another plant for free.
I know.
Really, really easy. These will get through the coldest winters, the most harsh, ridiculous frost, the most drought-tolerant summers.
Amazing.
And
the only thing they wouldn't like, I presume, is just sit in lots of water.
They wouldn't like sitting in lots of water, and they hate shade. They don't like shade. If you put them in shade, they go really leggy and feeble. So you can bake these in really, really ridiculously full sun. And these are called chick charms. It's again, we talk about learning. When we brought these to TV in our old life on that other TV station, they were called chick charms then. Our old world. And I'd never heard that word, chick charms, before then. So that was something else that I learned, because I've always called them house leeks. But yeah, chick charms is another name that you can call these as well. So
I think they're great, and I've got not this exact variety, but I've got a little cluster of them in terracotta pots with gravel around them, and they look great. And I've got mine on my little steps, and they look absolutely fantastic. So at £9.99, you're saving £5 on that one. 561224 for the Sempervivum Chick Charm Giants, and that one's called Goldmine. It really is spectacular and so easy to grow and so easy to propagate and get a whole little family of those, which is fabulous. Right, something really, really beautiful as well. We've got Corydalis, blue heron. I just think one of the most stunning plants in my garden. Everyone comments on it. I've got mine with my ferns underneath a tree because it's a woodland plant. You've got the bright, sort of almost like electric blue flowers, like little trumpets with white in the middle. You've got these red stems, gorgeous foliage, and really nice and compact. There's about 30 by 30 centimetres, but they are just stunning and breathtaking, aren't they?
Really dainty, really pretty. I use the word beguiling, you know, these really kind of draw you in. And something I would love to do with these, I'll probably never get around to it because I always set themselves a million tasks. I would actually like to grow these around the base of the blue Meconopsis poppy, because I'd imagine kind of
that would be cool.
Meconopsis poppy, and because they like similar conditions, they like cool, they like
woodland,
damp, they like shady. So that if you've got Meconopsis poppies in,
I'm trying to grow some at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
Because they can be a bit tricky.
Well, I know we're not talking about them, but just I'll tell you quickly on them. Keep them really shady. Never let them dry out, and they love ericaceous compost. So if you try
that, I didn't.
Yeah, they prefer ericaceous compost.
I didn't know that, which is so they're acid loving.
But our viewers have sent in some fabulous results they've had with those. But if you,
they're on our website, by the way. So they're called Meconopsis or California poppy.
Yeah, Meconopsis poppy. Yeah, the blue poppy. Blue poppy. So if you've grown those and you've had success with those, grow these, the little Corydalis, in the same position. And it's weird because we've gone from the house leek this one here we talk about that will take silly amounts of drought and can take the most intense, ridiculous sunshine. But you might not have somewhere like that. You might have a shady part of the garden where you want something to do well. That's where these will do well, the Corydalis.
I always think when some of my friends say, I'm no good at gardening, I always think, well, what nonsense, because it is just about finding the right plant for the right spot.
It's as simple as that.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We all like different things. Plants all like different things, and it is just finding what grows well in that spot. Right, just quickly as well, we have got our amazing Agapanthus fireworks, and this is really big. It's established. It's in a 3-litre pot. It's this one here, and we're not going to promise, but
it's got a flower bud on, isn't it?
Yeah.
I bet you can't get that out of the pot. Go on, try it.
No, I don't think I can. Hang on. I can.
Look, see.
There you go.
I knew that'd have crazy roots.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that. That's insane, isn't it?
Now, we know that Agapanthus, Adam, we know that they like to be kind of pot bound.
They do. They do really well in pots.
So, question, Corinne, would you repot this one or would you leave it?
You could leave that in that pot now if you wanted to. I mean, you could put it in a pot cover just to cover the sort of the pot up that it's in. Make sure that pot cover's got drainage holes, because one thing Agapanthus won't put up with is being really wet. But this one is a hardy type of Agapanthus.
Yeah, it's got our snowflake symbol. It's a lifetime guarantee.
Sometimes the Agapanthus africanus, sometimes the evergreen ones, they can be frost tendon. They can rot in the winter. The deciduous ones, the ones that sort of die down in the winter, which this one does, they're very hardy. And once this clump is established, this plant, it wouldn't be unexpected to perhaps have 10 or 15 different flower stems on that, Shaun, at least 10 or 15, and they flower at different times. So you're going to get probably a good couple of months' worth of colour from these.
Do you know that price, Adam, actually, $11.99 or $10.79 for club members for that size Agapanthus is incredible, isn't it?
Well, a plant that grown on, that mature, a plant that possibly could already have a flower bud on it. I mean, I can't guarantee, because I won't, but I would say a good chance is that most of you order this will have 1 or 2 flower buds on your plant this year.
This one was just randomly picked from the nursery, and it was only when we looked closely we spotted that it was in bud. And it only gets about 40 to 50 centimetres, that one.
Yeah, and really rigid stems. These don't need staking. They won't flop over. They won't snap. They make great cut flowers. And each flower head will get to probably the size of a tennis ball, because we think of the whole thing as a flower, don't we? But basically, this is made up of many small flowers. Yeah. And to have that throat at the back there, that deep blue, and then going through to this soft kind of purple at the front, those lovely stamens there coming out. Really elegant, pretty, interesting plant.
Right, we urgently need to go back to the Osteospermums. Don't forget you can still join us in the group chat, by the way. If you want to have a little chat with us, you can still email us, YouGarden, so ygtv@yougardens.com. So we've just had, we've just had an email about these saying, oh, the price isn't right. So basically, what you need to do is put the offer code in, and that is really important. So always on our shows, if you ever find that a price is wrong, 99% of the time it's just because you've not put the code in. So all of the offers unlock. It's like a magic key. You put the code in YGTV 2224. It changes every week, just to remind you. Put that code in, and you will get the price that we've got. So look, basically, if you put it in the basket without the code, dung dung dung, 1997. Still a £10 saving. But I want you to save £25. So just put the code in. There's the box, YGTV 2224. Apply the code. And bingo, price goes down. And you get your free gift. Those gorgeous skyscraper lilies as well. And if you do want to get rid of the postage, which is £6.99, just get your order to over £40 and you will get those delivered free. Having said that, that is still a brilliant order, even with the postage, isn't it? But I'd get some of those planters because they're not coming back, and it's a buy one get one free. So pop those in. Compost, I'd definitely get some compost. You're gonna need it. So let's just go for 100 litres of our premium professional compost. In that goes, and let's see what happens. I'm hoping for free postage now. Yeah, there you go. So you're saving there £91, nearly £92 actually, and you're getting 100 litres of compost. We've got 4 pots. We have got 6 Osteospermum there, and we've got 5 free lilies. That's a good basket, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it?
I'd be chuffed with that.
I'd be really chuffed if that all arrived. That's really good. Really good. So yeah, we always we do try to save you as much as possible on the live streaming shows. Right, very quickly though, do you know, nearly everybody today has ordered these. I think only one person didn't.
It does surprise me. Like when we had the fuchsias. Remember we had those fuchsias some weeks back when we had 8 fuchsias before 99. These are the same.
Yeah.
I mean, the offer on these is so good, and they're such. I mean, these would be good value if they were jumbo plugs at that price.
Yeah, they would actually.
That would be good value. But the fact they're in 9-centimetre pots, they're so well established. They're already flowering. They've got hundreds of buds to come. Yeah, brilliant.
I'm going to be telling my friends tonight all about these. I'm meeting up with a few friends from a garden club, and I'm going to be telling them all about these. Now, I actually grew mine from plug plants. It's been a nice journey, but mine do not look as good as these. Now, we are hoping we've still got enough stock left on Sunday, but the volumes of stock that we're going through right now on the website, because obviously some emails have gone out about this as well, on the live stream, huge amounts of these have been ordered, and I would definitely multi-order. Go for several of these. Don't forget, if you can't get your baskets £40, postage is capped at £6.99. So even if you spend, £30 and you've ordered several items, your P&P is always capped at £6.99 per order. Now, I was out at the nursery yesterday on my lunch break, and
They let you eat, did they?
not a lot. I had a sandwich. Wasn't particularly good actually, but anyway, we did go out in the nursery yesterday because it was sunny, and I was out with Stu and we did a bit of filming. I know it was sunny yesterday. I know, but have a look at how good these are. Well, the sun's shining, so I thought I'd come out on the YouGarden nursery and look what caught my eye. These are the Osteospermum purple sun. I mean, they are absolutely incredible. And when you think about how bad the weather's been, we've had a lot of rain the past few days. These have stood up beautifully. Now the sun's out, they are just glorious. And what I've noticed, so many bees, so many butterflies, just having an absolute party on these amazing flowers. I've actually got these growing in my garden this year. And in my opinion, they do just look great en masse. So you get 6 of these, don't forget. So maybe 3 in a decent sized pot, obviously 2 pots, and they're going to give you this absolutely outstanding show all summer long. I love the combination of the purples, the oranges, a little bit of yellow in there as well. Very easy to grow. They're just like full sun. They will tolerate a little bit of drought, and they will flower all summer long. And you may even choose to overwinter these and protect them from the frost and then grow them again next year. So, so you get 6. How many would you like? 600? Because they're all here right now at the YouGarden nursery. So I just had a tic-tac.
I've got some tic-tacs as well.
I know, so I'll do the talking now because while you finish. Is it gone?
No,
No, okay, right, I'll talk about the
I
basket.
can talk and tic-tac at the same
Yeah,
time.
well done. See, we can multitask. One of the other really popular items today, and I've ordered mine, the pair of pre-planted rattan hanging baskets. I can honestly say in all the years I've worked with YouGarden, I think the baskets this year are the best that I have personally seen. And actually our head gardener said the same. So, everyone's been talking about these baskets. We're delighted with how they've turned out this year. They're always good. They're always really good. But this year they are absolutely excellent. So you get a pair of them, $29.98. Club discount brings them down to $26.98. Just look at the work that's gone into these. So first of all, a beautiful rattan basket, really, really gorgeous. And it's not a 12-inch, it's a 14-inch. Then look at the amount of plants that have been pre-planted. You don't make this up yourself, it's all done. But they are really, really full. And then you look at the variety of the plants, and these are not yet every day. I mean, one of my local supermarkets has got ready-made hanging baskets with petunias in, and they're boring. They're not, I'm not saying, well, boring's the wrong word, but they're...
Run of the mill.
Yeah, run of the mill.
Average.
Yeah. With these, you've got the most stunning varieties of verbena, calibrachoa, petunias, and the colour scheme. I mean, you're a garden designer, but you'd be really happy with that, wouldn't you?
That colour scheme is absolutely gorgeous there. And you can see why it's eaten messy. I mean, when you make eaten messy, it's a meringue, isn't it? And then you can have raspberries or
I
strawberries.
was going to say, you know, put raspberries and strawberries in, don't you?
Or things like that. And then so you can get those mixtures of colours there. And all the plants in this basket, we've chosen them again so they can coexist. You know, one isn't going to overwhelm the other. It's not going to be like you're going to get to end of July and all you've got is pink petunias and nothing else because they've overwhelmed things. They've all got similar growing habits, they all like similar conditions, they've got that similar colour, so all the way through the summer you're going to get that uniform looking basket, you're going to get constant flower on these. You might just need to deadhead the verbenas a little bit, the other pinky ones you can see at the edge there, but don't fret on that. And all you've got to do with these is water them and feed them. Feeding's important for hanging baskets. Once a fortnight, give them a liquid feed. Use our Blooming Fast if you've got that, or get some of that. But you can use tomato feed, you can use seaweed feed. That's good as well.
I recommend those to everybody, and I've loved making up hanging baskets, but sometimes you don't have the time. Sometimes you think, I could do with an extra couple of baskets, and these will certainly take pride of place. But they are selling really, really quickly. Grab them today, and I know that they'll absolutely steal the show. Just quickly, I've got to apologise. I'm just looking at the group chat, and we missed Millie's question. I'm really sorry, Millie. Because Millie messaged ages ago. I hope you're still watching, Millie. But she said she grew the Caribbean lilies. Does she leave them in the ground when they stop flowering?
I think they're hardy as far as I know.
They're hardy,
Yeah. Just let them sort of die down.
Die down naturally, I'd say.
Die down naturally, yeah. Let the foliage sort of go yellow and die down, yeah, and they should come back to you year after year.
So sorry, Millie, I lost you there in the chat. But just leave them in there, and they should be even better next year.
It's Millie with the lily.
Yes, Millie with the Caribbean lily. I wish I'd bought that. But they were stunning. We did see quite a few pictures, didn't we? Absolutely stunning.
Of everyone else's.
I know. The baskets, though, seriously, what a lovely gift for somebody as well. I mean, do you know, Adam, I love flowers like you do, of course, but the price of a bunch of flowers now is extortionate. And if somebody buys me flowers, I'm still grateful, but I'd be far more excited getting one of those.
It's fair to say, because I used to order flowers, I'm not going to mention the company, but an online website, and now their average bouquet of flowers is like 45, 50 quid. And there's not even that many flowers in it. And I'm thinking, that's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just ask you, somebody might know the answer. You say this will make a great gift for somebody. When you order from YouGarden, can you get these sent to another address as a gift?
Yeah, if you want to send them as a gift.
So you can do that.
Yeah, you can't split an order, but if it's just an individual order...
So you could send this direct to a friend as a gift?
Yeah, you could send it to a different shipping address from your
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just imagine if somebody just moved into a new house. And a couple of these would be great, wouldn't it? Just either side of the front door, in the back garden. What a lovely welcoming home gift.
I actually, some friends of mine, when they moved house a few years ago, Dan and Emily, and I made them some hanging baskets, and they were delighted. But mine didn't look as good as that. Well, they didn't.
These have been given so much love and care, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah, they've been planted in the professional compost. They've been grown on our wonderful greenhouses, so they've got all that equal light. They've been kind of sheltered from the worst of the weather. The chains included, sort of galvanised chain as well, and you can even see the baskets reinforced as well with those kind of steel rods going through. And this isn't like a sort of a cheap, tacky kind of plastic-looking basket. It looks, it looks high-end. It looks lovely. It's probably got. Yeah, I'll just put my fingers in there as well because there's a plastic liner inside that as well, so that's going to hold on to a lot of the moisture for you. So don't think you're going to water these and the water's all just going to gush straight out between the actual what's this called, rattan. It's going to hold the moisture in there for you as well and hold the nutrients in the compost. These are stunning.
They really are, and selling really quickly. Somebody's gone for 6 of those today. Now we've also got what was lovely before the show. Adam picked up one of these, and I remember you going, "Oh my word, that's
Let's do that again, shall we?
Yeah, these are our Philadelphus.
Go on,
And they smell. They are like a mock orange, aren't they?
They are. Yes, very similar. Yeah, it's what they say. They say, what's that? Get your laughing gear around this. That's what they say, don't they?
It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. And you actually get a double up deal, so put 2 in your basket, you get them for $14.98. That is just one of the most beautiful fragrances.
Double flowers as well on these.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's one for $14.98, or if you put one in, it's the same price. An extra one in.
That's...
Yeah, so basically you get 2 for the price of 1, but you need to put 2 in your basket. So, Adam, smells gorgeous. Oh, apologies, if you want to buy 1, it's $12.99. So, it's still, look, you're going to go for 2, aren't you? Let's be honest, whatever. You're going to go for 2.
Absolutely.
So Adam, Philadelphus, it's called Little White Love. The fragrance is gorgeous, but it's, I think this is a beautiful plant to have in your garden. I think whites, when you've got lots of white in your garden, it kind of highlights everything else, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I always call it like a referee colour or sort of a mediating kind of colour as well, because it can bring different colours together and sort of create that sort of feeling of harmony. But you might be thinking about Philadelphus, you think, oh my goodness me, Philadelphus, they get like 8, 9, 10...
I was going to say, some varieties go huge, don't they?
Really, really big shrub. This gets to about 90 centimetres to a metre, so this is a really compact Philadelphus. So if you've got a really limited space, even if you want to grow this in a pot and you've always loved Philadelphus and you've loved that kind of wonderful fragrance, go for this one because it is compact, it's bone hardy, it will come up year after year, it's long lived, weeks and weeks of these lovely double, really sweetly scented flowers. It will have a lifetime guarantee on this as well. So,
and deciduous, Adam?
Yeah, it's deciduous. Yeah, it will lose its leaves in the winter time, but I mean that's more than rewarded by the fabulous scented double pure white flowers that you'll get, late spring going into early summer with that wonderful fragrance.
And I always think that with a garden, it isn't just about how it looks. You designed a sensory garden, didn't you?
We did.
A few years ago at Chelsea.
We did guide dogs, garden for guide dogs, and
fragrance must have been so important.
Yeah, fragrance is really, really important because again, if you've got sight loss or impaired vision, to have fragrance is fantastic because it gives you that other dimension to the garden.
And my mum's partially sighted, and we've really changed a few things in the garden, and yet fragrance is really important to her.
And also bright colours
as well, and bright colours.
Light colours, I mean, a bright pop of white like that. Somebody with reduced vision may be able to not necessarily see the exact detail, but get a semblance of the idea of the colour of that plant, the brightness of it. So
I love those. I'm very tempted. So it grows to about 90 centimetres, a lot more compact than some other varieties, and the fragrance is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to sniff that. I'm going to have a
go on, Adam. Get your nose in there.
I'm going to get my nose around this because, that's a nostril face. That's what Bex. That's another thing. Bex is nostril. That's so nice.
Isn't it lovely?
Oh, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it really is.
It is because at the moment, let's be honest. A lot of us are feeling a bit down and a bit fed up at the moment because of the weather. I think it's getting to us a bit, to be honest.
Not in Edinburgh.
Well, not in Edinburgh, but
we've got sun today.
But if you are feeling a bit like that, at least if you get out in the garden and you just get a plant this and you inhale that fragrance, it does give you a bit of a lift. It gives you a bit of a boost, and you think, it's not so bad after all, really. It might be a bit grey and rainy, but
anyway, Adam, we've got
shrub
sun this weekend
with fragrance.
We had We
and
have.
It's only May, Shaun, for goodness sake.
It
Goodness
is.
me. It's only the third week of May, so there's all to play for.
Oh, so I'm just checking the weather forecast now. I am.
It's going to be good.
I'm just checking.
And don't even worry about that too much, because even if they say it's going to be bad, you know what? 4 or 5 days out, they can't kind of really predict it much anyway. So
Now look, Sunday. There it is.
that's looking good.
Sun, sun, sun. Where we are.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun, full sun on Sunday. 20 degrees.
But in the sun, that will feel so much warmer because the sun's so up there now.
Monday, 20 degrees as well. Stop complaining.
No.
Saturday, 17 degrees. That's all right.
They
We'll take
reckon
that.
next week is going to be the most settled week we've had since January.
Yeah, it's looking good. Right. So we'll all shut up and stop complaining, because that's what we've done. Is about after I came to work today, it was raining. We're like, "Ugh." But yeah, sunshine is on its way. We were like two grumpy old men, weren't we?
Well, we're just being honest, aren't we? We're just dealing with it as it is.
As we stepped into a puddle. Right, moving on. We have got lobelia next, but yeah, good weather's on its way. Do you know what? Buy your plants today. Our delivery is really fast, so you may even have them for the weekend, fingers crossed, and you can get out in the sun and get on planting them. Now, lobelia is next. Trailer waste 30 garden-ready plants for just £19.97. Works out 6-7 pence each. And again, we have done all the hard work. These are fully garden-ready plants. The root systems, Adam, are amazing, aren't they?
Well, look at this.
Look at those.
Look at the root system on that. That is just phenomenal, isn't it? This isn't, some plant that's just been barely grown a few weeks. You can see how super kind of established that is. That could go straight out into the garden now. There's going to be no frost or anything now. I remember lobelia from a kid, and when I was a kid, it was just blue. It was just that blue colour, pretty much, and then it went to sort of a pale blue. Now we've got such a fabulous range of colours on these.
Yeah, like you've got different shades of purples, whites, almost like mauvey colours.
Mauvey colour, and it was weird because Bex pointed out something when we was on at the weekend, because we've always think of lobelia as a filler to kind of grow between other things, and then Bex sort of said, why not grow lobelia in a pot on its own? And when you do that, you actually realise as a plant standing on its own.
Yeah, I like that.
Just in its own right.
Yeah, I've always used it as a filler before, but I've decided I'm going to do a few pots. Now, interesting enough, I was shopping about a week ago, and there was like one of the kind of how do I describe it? There was a store that's known for its deals. It's like one of the bargain type stores, and they had a pot just with lobelia in, and it was a plastic pot, and it was £7.99, and it probably only had maybe 3 plants in it. With just a plastic pot. And this was like a really good value store, that's known for its deals. And I did think, God, prices have gone up so much. But these are working out at less than 60 pence a plant for club members. And when you think you've got 30 and how much these are going to fill. What I love about lobelia, you don't have to deadhead it.
No, you just leave that.
Keeps going.
I would say if you planted one of those plants on its own, probably one would probably fill an area about the size of a side plate.
Yeah.
By the end of the summer, mid-end of the summer.
So like a 25 centimetre pot?
Yeah, because it spreads out sideways, this one, and sort of covers the ground as it spreads out sideways. It doesn't trail so much, it kind of just spreads out. And you can just, you can sort of see the habit. Again, where's a really good grown on one? Let's go for this one, see if I can, actually that's so in there, I can't get that out. Let's pluck out one here. So, yeah, you can sort of see there the way that sort of the little side shoots going there. So it's going to kind of spread. I guess the posh word is it procumbent. I think the kind of its growing habit will be.
Well, that's the word I was looking for, Adam. Yeah. He's got some good words today. Look at that there. Look, I mean, this one's got... So these have been multi-sown, I would suggest, as well.
Yeah, you've probably got 4 or 5 plants in each plug, so each plug's going to give you sort of a mix of colours there.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
Great little ground cover. But if you put them at the side of pots, we put some in that little tub there, haven't we, with the fantastic Osteospermums, and that will kind of grow over the side. And
I always think, when I'm making up pots and containers, I always think that if they look a bit unbalanced or there's gaps, just put lobelia in there, and it's sort of like brings the whole thing together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do that in one part of my garden because I grew from seed some plants called cleomes, which are an annual, and they get about 2 or 3 foot tall. And
I'm trying to think what they are. I know the name.
They've got really unusual flowers. They're called, Cleome, cleome or cleome. And it said plant them 40 centimetres apart, but now they're growing.
I do know. So I do know what it is. Yeah,
I can see that there's going to be lots of gaps in between, and I thought they were going to fill in that space. And I hate seeing soil in my garden, so I'm going to sort of put these type of lobelia in between just to cover that soil, so I'm not seeing brown earth. I'm getting those fabulous mix of colours.
Well, amazing value. Again, do remember, you need to use the offer code to get all the promotions today, YGTV2224. You'll also get your free lily bulbs, 5 of those with every single order, and free postage if you spend over £40. I don't know where the time's gone, Adam, so I better move on. Now, we have got our Digitalis Dalmatian mix next, and these are absolutely beautiful. It's a range of colours, so you might get a sort of like creamy colour, you might get the purpley, pinky colours, but what you will get is a really well-established foxglove in a 2-litre pot, and it will have these fabulous markings in the flowers. It's called Dalmatian mix because if you look in there, it's a little bit like a Dalmatian, isn't it?
Got those spots in there.
Yeah.
And they're good because they're like sort of little runways for bees. That's it.
And you often see the bee's bottom sticking out.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and you can hear the sort of the bee vibrating inside the flower, can't you?
Yes.
I mean, I love foxgloves, and we bought some. I think it was called Illumination foxgloves the other day, which are also gorgeous. I do like these ones, though, in particular, because these just look so much like the natural kind of wild foxglove that we've got.
And we were saying earlier, foxgloves, they don't need a lot of light.
No, they're good. Again, if you've got the blue heron, where the blue heron growing, the Corydalis, that's where foxgloves love to grow as well.
And now I've found, Adam, with my foxgloves, quite often they self-seed as well.
Yeah, they'll self-seed. And also what you can find is if you cut down the main flower spike after it's finished, sometimes they get little baby ones at the base that will then give you more foxgloves the following year.
Well, because we are nearly out of time, we're going to throw to the nursery right now. That's a technical term. But what I'm going to do is show you these on the nursery we filmed yesterday in the sunshine. Well, these are our Digitalis Dalmatian mix, foxgloves as I know them as, and they're just beautiful. And I always think that foxgloves, they look good en masse. Now, you don't need to have as many of these as we've got here on the nursery, but doesn't that look absolutely beautiful? And the size we've got here, we do sell the smaller ones early on in the season, but these, just take one out now, are so well established, aren't they beautiful? And again, the pollinators love these. You often see they little bumblebees. I say little bees are really big this year. They seem really big to me, but they love going inside each and every one of these beautiful flowers. The lovely thing is these do come back year after year. They actually often self-seed as well, so you can find over the years you get more and more of these. But I love the kind of country cottage look. I also like the fact that they're self-supportive as well. So with a foxglove, you don't have to stake them, so they never look ugly or anything like that. And when you see them en masse, with there's a bee just whizzing in there. When you see them en masse like this, they are absolutely beautiful. I love the different colours as well. Variety of creams and purples, a little bit of lilac over there, and incredibly easy to grow as well. In fact, they do quite well in part shade, so back of a border, part shade, and they will come back every single year. They're just gorgeous. So yes, it is our Digitalis Foxglove, the Dalmatian mix. And don't forget, that is a double up deal, so you get 2 for £19 and £99. And they are amazing. I love foxgloves, and they do tend to self-seed very easily. You often get a second flourish of flowers once the main one's gone. And as Adam said, love a sort of like fairly shady spots. Yeah, good for shady sort of damp soils. Again, where the blue heron, the Corydalis grows, foxgloves love to grow as well. So that's the thing, we like to bring you plants that will grow in all sorts of different conditions. Because we all have different sort of areas and different gardens, don't we? And apologies, it's 1 for £14.99. But you're going to get 2 for £19.99, and most of you are going for 2. Right, we've just wanted to finish with a few spectacular plants for you. And don't forget, we've just got stock back of the passiflora, the passion flower, and we've had quite a few questions about this one. It's the easiest to grow pretty much in the UK because it's really quite hard, this one. Yeah, this one is really, really hard in the UK. If you grow this in the right position, there's no reason why it won't come back year after year. And in a very cold winter, it might get knocked down to ground level, but it does regrow from ground level, providing you grow it in the right sort of space. If you grow some of the more unusual ones, the pinky ones or the white ones,
you may get away with those for a couple of years or so, but if we get a particularly wet or cold winter, you'll probably lose them, whereas this one you won't.
And it flowers all summer long,
Excuse me.
like many clematis that will just give you a wonderful show, but for only maybe 4, 6, 8 weeks. This flowers all summer
Just
long.
keeps going.
And it's really
loads of
fast
flowers.
growing.
Yeah,
as
it is
well.
fast, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen these put on a good 5 or 6 foot of growth in one season.
Yeah.
They've got these lovely little coiled tendrils that as soon as they get on the support, they curl round and then they pull themselves. That coils actually contract and they pull the climber onto the support.
Do you know what I also like about these, Adam? Some climbers can be quite... If you go them up a fence, when we had some clematis that literally destroyed the fence, they got so woody and heavy.
Yeah.
Whereas these actually, they're fairly gentle, if that makes sense, on the fence. So if you need to cut them back, the stems don't get too thick and woody.
No, and they don't do that kind of top-heavy thing as well, where they grow over themselves and over themselves and over themselves, and you end up with that kind of coming out in a big mass from the fence. It's all dead in the middle, and they don't do that. They always sort of keep nice and open, so they always look green. They always look healthy. They don't kind of start to look really woody and sort of a bit dead at one bit and then just green at the top. They always look nice, and even the leaves on these, Shaun, are really stunning as well. Beautiful leaves on there, and the leaves are semi-evergreen as well. I've actually kind of seen these sort of stay on in the winter time. So even in the winter time, if you've got these in a shelter position, you can get that interest. And even the flowers that have gone over are still quite interesting. Yeah,
I agree.
You can see there, that's just quite an interesting seed head, isn't it?
But that is, if you're club member, most of you are £8.99, 550332. Right, we've saved an absolute winner for the end of the show. And it is the hydrangea hot chocolate. Do you know, I remember, Adam, when I was a child, I used to think hydrangeas were quite boring. I just remember the mop heads, white, pink or blue, depending on the soil type and what you did to them. Did you?
Yeah, well, fun enough, when I used to think about, then when I was younger, hydrangeas when I was younger, I used to think about bungalows by the seaside.
Yep.
I used to think about Frinton and Walton-on-the-Naze and places like that, because you go on holiday and you see these gorgeous bungalows and you'd see these pink hydrangeas in front gardens.
Boring is the wrong word, but I just don't remember lots of different varieties. Whereas now, with the incredible breeding that's taken place, the hydrangeas are one of my favourite plants in my garden right now. And this one is unbelievable. It's called hot chocolate. I wouldn't even recognise that as a hydrangea, would you?
No, nor would I.
Look at the foliage.
In fact, I'm growing a plant in my garden called Persicaria red dragon, and that's what I thought it was initially when I saw it this morning. But yeah, look how deep.
I know.
And the good thing about it, they look that colour from that side, but if I turn it around, and then you look at the back of the leaves, look, different colour. The way that
and they're a bit furry.
They are furry, aren't they?
A bit like a kiwi.
Yeah, they've got that kind of feel to them, haven't they?
Now, if you were just growing this for foliage, I think that could look amazing, but you are going to get the most incredible light pink flowers as well. And this one's a big hydrangea. This can grow to about 4 metres.
It can, yeah. I mean, it sort of spreads out, and you've got those lace cap flowers on there as well. We haven't got the mop head flowers. You've got what's called the lace cap flowers, which are those sort of lovely flowers where you get the sort of there you go.
There.
So
I mean, just beautiful.
The true flowers are the little kind of tiny purpley pink flowers in the middle. The other ones you can see are what's known as bracts. But when you see those flower heads on top of this chocolate foliage, whoa, that is such a knockout conversation.
It's such a lovely contrast, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a great contrast. You'll adore this. Again, put it in a kind of a shady corner. It could be partial shade, it could be sun, it could be dappled sun, as long as it's reasonably moist soil. This is a hardy shrub. It will get through all the winters. It's really easy to grow. It's not particularly fussed about soil, providing there's some moisture. All hydrangeas like a little bit of moisture in the soil. That's where they're happy. But also a lot of hydrangeas, or most hydrangeas, are tolerant of a little bit of shade. So if you've got an area where other plants struggle because it's not full sun, that hydrangea will love it. It will grow quite happily in that sort of place.
I just think that is such an amazing, incredible variety.
Isn't it beautiful?
It really is. So unusual. It's already a really big plant. It comes in a 19 centimetre pot, and it will flower for, well, several months of the summer.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they give you those little kind of things on here, don't they? But it doesn't say anything on this one. But yeah, I mean, we know that
I'm going to say June, July, August.
Yeah,
time.
It will flower for a good long time, and you can see. I actually saw on this one as well. These are the little flower buds. There is a very, very embryonic little flower head in the top of each of these. So I would not be surprised at all if this flowers for you for the first time this year, and then year on year it will get slightly bigger. If you want to, you can always prune it back a little bit as well to keep it in shape. But just a great shrub in so many ways.
Yeah. And what a wonderful price on that one as well. 511-507. We are nearly out of time. Don't forget, I'm going to say it again. Free postage on all orders over £40. Boom, that is your freebie today with every single order. 5 of these gorgeous skyscraper lilies. The skyscraper ones are the really tall ones. So this year they'll probably go to 3 or 4 feet, but year 2, year 3, 6 foot, they get bigger and bigger. They're worth $7.99, and they've got a gorgeous fragrance as well, and a beautiful colour. That one is known as Lily Rubina. It's an absolutely divine colour that you're looking at right now. Right, Adam, we're nearly out of time. The most popular items on the show, obviously the planters are flying, but it's the Osteospermums. And we are doing a special offer today where you get 3, and they're not plug plants, but they're in 9 centimetre pots. All the work has been done, and we are only going to charge you £4.97 or $4.47 for club members. And I've got these grown in my garden this year. I just fell in love with them, Adam. I mean, they're award-winning.
They're just a pure joy, aren't they?
They are. I mean, look, when you look at the individual flowers, they are absolutely spectacular.
They are, and what I like about it is for instance, the flower down here.
It's different from out there, isn't it?
Yeah, because when they first come through, they're that really intense
Yeah, let
kind
me
of
put those
orangey
two
colour.
together, look. Look at those.
Look at that. You'd think that was 2 different types, wouldn't you? That's exactly the same plant, but the flowers just change colour as they mature. So as they become mature, they become more yellowy before they finally go. But oh my goodness me, so many buds on these. I mean, months and months and months of flower on these. Just plant these somewhere sunny and well drained. Deadhead them if you get time, but don't panic if you don't. Amazing.
Do you know
aren't
that
they?
in terms of deadheading, they're very easy to deadhead, aren't they?
Yeah.
Some things are a bit more fiddly, these aren't. All you need are sunny spots, nice well-drained soil, great in pots and containers, and they will flower all summer long. Now, masses of you have gone for them. Also, an email has gone out to our, oh God, I don't know how big our database is, but it's huge. It's large. So you imagine many, many homes across the UK have now had an email about these Osteospermum and the offer that we're giving you today. So get in there now. I would multi-order. Get, if you're not a club member, join today, get that extra 10% off. But I really, Adam, I looked around the nursery yesterday with Stu, and I couldn't see anything more spectacular than these right now.
And the thing is, it looks like we've got a lot of these out there, but you know, when you look at the different outlets we have, very quickly you can see these going. I mean, if an indication of how much you've loved them today is true, then these are going to fly. And it's just great to think so many gardens this summer are going to have these fabulous, fabulous colours. And these, they almost emanate their own light source. They're almost like sort of little rays of sunshine in a pot, to be honest.
Well done. So many of you have placed your order. Now, you have got £6.99 postage, but don't forget that is capped. So even if you don't spend £40, you'll still only pay £6.99 an order. And even the hanging baskets are only £6.99 postage. But if you do get your order to over £40, your delivery will be absolutely free today, so do bear that in mind. I know most of you regulars and you know how it works, but that has to be, I think that's, for me, that's the best deal we've done this year. It's my favourite deal, I should say. It really is.
I think, yeah, that and it comes a close, well, I think the fuchsias come a close second. We had those 8 hardy fuchsias, didn't we, for $4.99 as well, which also flew.
Yeah,
so,
they did well. They were a good one.
Yeah, but no, that shows we do bring you some insane kind of offers as well. And that's why we get so passionate about YouGarden and kind of this new venture that we're on, because it's just brilliant, Shaun, isn't it?
We love it.
We love it.
We've got a great team here. Thank you to everyone in the group chat as well. It's been really nice to hear from you. Karen said she's got the black Sambucus, which is the one I've got, and she's grown it with the Southern Gold, and they look really good.
Yeah. I'll send a picture. Please send a picture. We'd love to see that contrasting picture.
Always. We are out of time. I am back in the potting shed on Sunday with Bex. Adam, hopefully we'll see you the week after.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to a weekend off. I will miss you, but it'd be nice to have a weekend off as well.
Well,
I've got lots to do in the garden, that's why I say that.
And it's going to be sunny this weekend, so look at you, actually.
I picked a good weekend,
yeah.
didn't
I could do a swap with you.
No, it's fine.
All right, so the biggest thank you goes to all of you lovely gardening friends out there. Keep placing your orders after the show. Thank you for all your messages. Thank you for all of your support. And we will be live again in the potting shed this Sunday from 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock. So from the whole team here at YouGarden, have a lovely day and have a great sunny weekend.